Welcome back to the Harbingers D&D campaign. Woo! We are super stoked to be here and to be back with all of you guys. After I know it's been a long time, for about 2 weeks now. Um, but we're super excited to be back. And with our guest stars, the Nat One Nerds. We are so excited to have them here today to join us for our special Friday the 13th spooky Halloween episode of, or I guess session of our Harbingers D&D campaign. Um, and I would like to turn the time over to them to talk about their projects that they've got going on real quick and say what they've got going on. So Parker, Brandon, take it from here.
Hey guys, over on that one, nerds, we're just wrapping up our exploration of the One Ring TTRPG system, which is based in Tolkien's Middle Earth, set in the Third Age between the events of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. We got one more episode on that, but we got plenty of episodes on it. You can listen to our introduction, how to build a character, our actual play. That was a lot of fun. We just did our Lore Master episode on it, and then we'll be doing a final review. And even if that's not your cup of tea, we've done explorations on Fate Accelerated, D&D Classic, and then we've also done Call of Cthulhu.
Oh yeah, definitely come and check it out, especially the One Ring we've been doing. It's all that Parker's been talking about. We got lots of dad jokes for days, if that's what you're into. Lots of good, fun conversations about TTRPGs. So if you're ever interested in learning something new, then come check us out. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, definitely check out Nat One Nerds. They are amazing. They've got great podcasts. So by all means. And they are also super fun as Val and Echo here in the game. So we're excited to bring them back. Um, but without further ado, we are going to jump into our recap of last session that we had 2 weeks ago. And who was doing the recap? I can't remember. Oh goodness. Oh, it was Greg. That's right.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's me.
Greg.
Yeah, I got it. All right, let's hop into it. So, it's been a bit. Oh man, those 2 weeks were the longest 2 weeks in my life, you guys. I can't tell you more. Last session. Last week's too easy. Last session, we went ahead and finished fighting off a manticore type thing. There was a whole thing. So let's start from the beginning. I'm just getting to the exciting part. Okay. So we wake up. We're on the morning of the day before where Nuri has burned downtown and we had to go hide as refugees, and we had that whole debacle. And then we come to the morning next where we arise from our sleeping quarters and we witness that Merilla is nowhere to be seen. Dusty saw her leave in the middle of the night. Now, unfortunately, she's gone. But she left us all some comforting little notes here and there. But we do arise. Amaris sets off to go grab Douse so we can begin our journey to the next town. As Amaris is gone, Dusty and Nuri have a little talk, a little chat. Dusty puts on his therapist hat and starts asking her a couple questions to get a little better understanding of how she's feeling. And she gives him some insight. He then reveals some stuff about his past. If you want specifics, you can go back and watch it. Highly suggest you go back and watch it. Just saying, pretty good stuff. And it eventually culminates. Nuri leaves and she contacts someone using her magic. Contacts. Wow. Okay. When at that point, Dusty, Amaris returns with Douse, and Dusty and Amaris decide to head back to say goodbye to some people, particularly the Tough Hammers, and also Dane's unconscious body in the church. So we go back and we say our goodbyes with some adorable interactions. We also check in about the jack-o'-wares who we sent to this town a little while ago with Mona and her ragtag group of like the remaining members of her pack that we didn't slaughter. So they're there. We give the tough hammers some pointers in their direction, and looking back, it might not have been the best idea. We don't make a lot of good choices with these people. The poor tough hammers, but it's fine. It's fine, guys. It's fine. They'll be fine. It's fine. Well, we leave, and as we go, we meet up and we begin our trek out. On our trek, we run into a cockatrice farmer who sees us as adventurers and asks if we can help out. We're in a little bit of a hurry, and we're not sure if we want to do it, but through some bargaining, we're able to convince Nuri, who is the only one who really didn't want to help, that we probably should. We are good guys, I guess, after all. Not to throw Nuri under the bus, but it's okay. She was upset. So we go forward and find where this manticore is, and we prepare for it. We lay down some traps, summon a couple spiders, and we begin our assault upon the cave. Jumps out. We take it down relatively easily, but not without Amaris's trap setting off and mortally wounding several people. It was pretty epic. And
sorry,
that's it for last session. I would like to point out maybe where we left off with Val and Echo as well, because they are coming into our session. This one's just going to be off the top of my head. I have no notes for this one, so if anyone has any other thoughts, just throw them in. Val and Echo, or more colloquially known as our babysitters, they were two professional adventurers from the Adventurers Guild who were assigned to bring us in to the guild. And so they accompanied us on a short adventure, which ended up putting us all in mortal danger. But through one thing and another, we were able to slay a large beast known as a false hydra. This was the sparking point for our information on the Heralder. It sparked our information on like a bunch of other stuff, got us to our first town. It was like our first true quest. So Val and Echo have been there quite some time. We know a tiny bit about their backstories, a little bit about somehow both of them are undead, if I'm reading into that correctly. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but one's a zombie, one's a vampire, or something like that. It's pretty epic. Yeah, so there's that. They are a bard and a rogue, if I remember correctly. Very handsome guys. One of them always wearing a hood. I believe it's Echo. Echo's a little bit more, he's contained. Val is more the party guy, more spoken, but we left on good terms with them.
Parker, I see you scrunching your face at that.
I'm just making some judgments on your guys' character. It's fine.
I wouldn't say he's like the life of the party by any means.
He's more of the guy who just sits in the corner, but
would you say he's
drinks.
the undead of the party if he's not the life of the party?
The unlife of the party? That is just hurtful. All right. I'll write that down. But yes, they gave us a recommendation letter and some very kind words. Not so kind for Douse, actually. I think Douse, they were like, Douse needs some work.
And I'm excited to see what they think of Douse now.
Yeah, so
he's grown.
That's all my thoughts on them. Anyone else has anything else to add? By all means, release this information now or forever hold your peace.
Just wanted to bounce off of what Emily said, that Douse has grown. He has grown, but not in size.
Yes, he is still like 4 feet tall.
He is still small.
He's a small boy.
Also, can I
Small
just
boy.
comment on Roxy Bird's comment in the chat? She said, "Is this the first time in a while we've had more guys than girls on here?"
Yeah.
That is true. We have only ever had equal as at our max. So, all right,
We did it.
represent.
We technically would still have equal if it wasn't for us missing a player.
Rest in
Mhm.
yes.
peace. Rest in peace. Yeah. That's wild.
She's not dead. You just said rest in peace. She's not dead.
Well,
She's
yeah,
working.
Rest in
rest
peace.
in peace.
What is
She's
this?
resting in peace.
Yeah,
on
she's
her
resting
break.
in peace. I don't know. I don't know where she is. She might be dead. No, I'm kidding.
No, she's not.
She's
Oh my
alive.
gosh.
She's,
Dude, I talked to her
she's
all the time.
alive. Can confirm.
She literally messaged in our group chat today. Or was it yesterday? It was one of the days.
I think it was today.
Yeah, I think it was today. Anyways. Alrighty, guys. Without further ado, we are going to hop into tonight's session. And pick up where we left off. Okay. So, as you guys have just finished killing the manticore, you are able to collect whatever you would like to collect and head back to the farm, where you encounter Ophelia and Silas again.
Super easy. It's dead. Can you take this now? We don't really have time to sit around.
Ophelia quirks her head slightly at your persistence on speed here, but she just ends up relaxing and nodding, and she goes, "Yeah, by all means, I'll go ahead. We've already hooked up the wagon, so
Thank you. It is very much appreciated.
yes, thank you so much for taking care of that manticore out there. Really appreciate
Of course.
Like
All-
Nuri said, like, ooh, super easy. Like, the whole group looks like they've been like electrified and all these terrible things.
We've all been exploded by one wonderful spell.
It was an accident. I already explained that.
Oh
and
my
no
gosh.
one's blaming you.
Alrighty, well, let me put us on the forest path. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. Oop, Marilla's not there. Alright, so she has her wagon all hooked up, and you guys are able to hop on the back. She does bring Silas along, the small, we say like 12, 14-year-old boy. He's just sitting next to her while
I think
she's
it's
driving. 12, I think it was 12, somewhere around there. And he's just sitting next to her on the cart as you guys head into town. And start making your way. You guys are able to oh shoot, how long did we say it was going to take with the cart? I can't remember if it was
3
going
or
to
4 days.
3 or 4 days without the cart or with the
Yeah.
cart.
No, with the cart.
It was going to be, they were going to be away from their group for a while.
Well, no,
I think
because
it
it
might
was
have been 4 days
their
without
flock.
the cart, 3 days with the cart. I think.
I thought it was 2 days with the cart.
I'd be happy with either.
It was. I think it was in between 1.5 to 2 days, if I
Okay,
remember that correctly.
We're going to say 2. Sorry, guys.
All right.
I need to
All right.
write that down and be better about that, guys. But it's also been 2 weeks, so
Quick, let's rewatch the last session.
I'm going to cut myself some slack there. All right, 2 days. Final answer. Sorry if you watched last session and are now watching this one and you were like, it was a different day. It is now officially 2 days. So, with the cart. So, you guys hop in the cart.
With traffic and weather conditions, the time could vary.
Exactly. And you guys head on out. Which, since you're heading out about midday, it means in 2 days you're going to be arriving at Sunshield around midday. All right. So you guys head out. Is there anything you would like to talk about while you guys are traveling, or just
So it's 2 full days, just for my day count. We're saying it's 2
2
full days.
days?
And then on the 3rd day, we arrive halfway through the day.
Yes.
Okay.
So 48 hours from our current time,
Yes.
more or less.
48 hours. So you can add that to your calendar.
Douse doesn't know exactly how to approach Nuri, but he's just going to continue keeping an eye on her, making
Okay.
sure she's, because there's something going on. He doesn't know how to approach it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Studying her book. She doesn't really talk to anyone.
Right. So the trip passes on mostly in silence. You guys are able to camp for the night. For, I guess that would be like 2 nights actually. You guys are able to camp for 2 nights. It's peaceful, nothing happens. You guys have
3
killed
nights, actually.
3 nights.
Sorry.
3 nights. You guys are able to camp, and since you killed the manticore that was kind of terrorizing the area, you guys don't really have any problems with monsters along the way, or any other creatures. On the morning of the 3rd day, so when you're going to be arriving in a couple hours, you guys get ready, get all hitched up, and you start setting out again on the wagon. And you guys continue along the path when you notice that this is at this point you notice one of the other major roads kind of converging into this one at this point. So where 2 major roads kind of converge into one towards Sunshield. As you keep going along for another hour, you spot 2 figures on the road up ahead, just walking along.
And this is when the 3rd day, when we're coming into
Yes.
Sunshield?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Nuri
as you
doesn't
get
care.
closer, you notice that they are both hooded from the back, but something just feels familiar about them. Parker, Brandon, you guys can also hear that there is a wagon coming up behind you.
Do we recognize any like emblems on these cloaks at all, or is it just, are they plain cloaks?
Yeah, I would imagine they continue with their plain attire. Pretty straightforward, very practical.
Yeah, hearing the wagon, Echo's just gonna slowly migrate towards the side of the path to not get run over because there's some careless travelers around here.
Understandable. Alrighty. And as the wagon's getting up closer to you guys, the group in the wagon, you turn over, you recognize your babysitters. And Echo and Val, if you guys choose to look over, you can also recognize the rest of the party.
Honestly, I don't think Val would really look, just because as Echo was saying, they're just probably just travelers just trying to get to this city at any cost. So, we're just kind of stepping off to the side of the road and just letting them pass as if they were normal travelers. We're not really.
Alrighty.
So seeing who they are, Dusty would say to the person driving the cart, "Wait, hold on," and he's like, "Hold the cart for a moment."
Oh, Ophelia kind of pulls on the reins and the cart slows a little bit to kind of a more walking pace with these travelers.
That would definitely get Val's attention, though. Putting
Oh.
a hand on his rapier.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Feeling
So
the cart
Roll
slow,
initiative.
That's when Nuri would look up because she's like, time crunch people. But continue, Greg.
So Dusty is going to hop out of the cart. Now, what you see this vibrant, bright pink leg swerve out. It is bright pink bandages covering a leg, and then another one, and then you see a figure that looks very similar to Dusty, who you have seen before, except instead of his regular sand-worn clothing, he hops out with just a vibrant pink torn cloth, just like parts haphazardly strewn across his form, and his arms have bandages made of the same material as he hops down, and he just kind of waves at you. You recognize his gear and stuff, but he's very pink, and he says, "Oh, it's good to see you guys."
Val's gonna take a moment because the pink thing is just so in my face. But upon I was gonna have Val roll a perception check to see if he like could actually connect the dots a little bit, but I think with your voice, I think that would be enough. So he's just gonna respond, Dusty.
Douse would probably be surprised with seeing Dusty jump off and probably join the conversation. Like, what are you doing? Oh, hey, hi guys, long time no see.
Douse.
How are you guys?
It's our babysitters.
Nuri kind of like pulls her eyes away from her notebook and is like, Val, Echo, hello. Welcome. Do you guys want to hop on? We're heading into town. It'd be better to chit chat while on the move. Just time.
Oh, what brings you guys into town here?
We're looking for someone. We do have some space if you guys are headed to where is it? Sunshield? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
We're headed to Sunshield, so if you guys are heading the same direction, then we could give you a ride.
I mean, if you don't mind, we wouldn't want to intrude and possibly get your marvelous pink wrappings dirty.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I have spare clothing. And
I mean,
I'm
going to be honest with you guys. I don't think I've ever seen Dusty shower, so those are already pretty dirty.
Dusty doesn't hear you. He's like hopping up into the cart as you're saying this.
As he
enough,
says
they
that,
don't smell.
Echo is going to use prestidigitation to see if he can clean Dusty without Dusty noticing.
All right, with a snap of your fingers, you use prestidigitation, and you are able to clean up the bandages so they look brand new at this point. Dusty, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 17. Also, the bandages lighten the skosh.
So even brighter pink at this point. Also just have to make a comment on the chat. Roxy Bird saying Sand Dune Barbie has entered the chat. And Silver Dusk with Q Barbie girl.
Sand Dune Ken.
Sand Dune Ken, that's what it is. You're Knuff, Greg. Or Dusty, you're Knuff.
Actually, funny thing, she just showed me that.
Really?
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, with that, you guys are able to climb into the back of the cart, and Ophelia sets up the pace of the horses again, and you guys continue towards Sunshield.
So tell us, Val and Echo, what have you been up to? Where have you been? Why are you going to Sunshield? Have you seen anything suspicious recently? Comas related?
Well, we were told by the guild that to take some vacation time and he doesn't look happy about that at all.
Are you in trouble?
Something about this thing called PTO accruing, and it's a mess.
With one sentence, Brandon has KO'd the party.
No
That's
power
pretty
word
good.
kill, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. He is a bard.
But we have, despite our travels, we have somewhat heard of what you guys have been doing through the guild channels lately. So, and it seems like or I should say our recommendation has not been in vain. Well done.
We're trying our
Yes.
best.
So is that really why you were told to take some time from the guild? Sorry, Nuri's not laughing.
Like, yes, they said we had too many of these PTOs and we needed to get rid of them. So we've been looking for someone to cleanse them from us.
I see.
Yes.
Did anyone explain?
This some form of disease, or I do know a couple restoration spells if
It's apparently some sort of malady that comes from working too much.
oh I see.
It's remedied by festivities and enjoying yourself, apparently.
You know, I think I know someone who might be coming down on some of that. He's gonna kind of side-eye Nuri.
That's awesome. That's a fantastic connection. Well done. Well done.
Yep, there's someone I know who's been working very hard the past couple days and could use a break. So, what made you guys choose Sun Shield?
We were told to come here.
Just to come here for like, is there anything going on over here or?
No, Dorothy says we're, as Echo was saying, apparently working too much, and she thinks it is healthy to take breaks every now and then. So we're here for a few days.
Okay.
You also heard Dorothy mention that there is a festival going on in Sunshield. I don't know if I sent that bit to you. I'm sorry. Called the
No,
mid.
Oh, Echo
Oh.
just assumed that's what Dusty's raps were for.
I see. I see. Okay.
Val doesn't want to be taking vacation in the first place, so
I see. I see.
luckily we've this shouldn't be too much of a vacation, perhaps. Echo and I have heard some interesting rumors coming relating to Sunshield itself, so we may be poking around a little bit as well.
Okay. Well,
We
maybe
figured we might as well progress some personal motives while we deal with the PTOs.
Killing two birds with one stone.
Wait, she said we're not supposed to be killing anything.
It's an expression, Echo.
I know.
It's a metaphor.
I'm just having fun with it.
Oh god, I hate when you do that. And he just kind of leans back, and I'm not sure how we're positioned in the cart, but if possible, he would just like kind of lean back, just letting just leaning back and letting off some stress in his own and pathetic way.
Alrighty.
So, when you say there's stuff that you want to be poking around at in Sunshield, like what? Have you heard? Like, I don't know anything about Sunshield. Do they have a good library?
Echo's gonna turn to Val and kind of give him a look of like, should we clue them in?
He kind of just shrugs his shoulders and looks at Nuri. Have you or the rest of you heard of a individual known as the Alchemist?
Yes. What about, is the alchemist here in Sunshield? No. This is the, wait, tell me more.
He's kind of the guy we're looking for as well.
Short fellow with golden hair, metal arm.
Have we had a description of him yet?
No, we have.
Sorry,
Have
that
you
was
met
a out of
the
character
alchemist?
reference.
Oh,
Oh,
I get it.
really doesn't like being called short? Gotcha. I know the type.
That's you, though.
Yeah, but Douse doesn't
would-
really mind it.
Would we know what the alchemist looks like or what we're looking for, or is there just rumors?
It's just rumors. So you're just looking into the rumors here.
I was going, oh, that's a pretty good description. Wow, that's pretty epic.
I'm
We-
so laughing at the fact that I didn't catch that.
We've
So-
heard we've heard that there might be an individual here in Sunshield that may know information about him further. So, because if the rumors are even half true, then this needs to be investigated immediately, in my opinion. But Dorothy wants other people to look into it. So,
Got it. So you're looking
But none
into it
of you
by
are
your
allowed to
mouth.
let Dorothy know that we're investigating this.
I mean, even if we said anything, your PTO would be over by the time it got word back to her.
she never said exactly how to use our PTO.
True. Alrighty. So you guys are continuing to progress towards Sunshield. Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss before you guys arrive? No?
Not entirely, no.
Do you have description of who knows the alchemist?
Unfortunately, we don't. We just know that there may be information about them there.
Ah. Oh, thank you.
Douse would scoot over to Amaris, like, as we're getting into this town, should we figure out a way to keep an eye on Nuri?
Real quick, I'm gonna have you roll perception.
Okay.
I do want to point this out. Throughout this whole time, Dusty has probably been either sitting next to or very close to Nuri the whole time.
Okay.
Just throughout our entire traveling. He's just
Isn't she
staying
married?
close proximity.
She's super married.
She's super married. Yes, she is. She is super married. It's fine.
Yes. Thank you. We need a super married.
We do need one. That's been a bit.
That is a 16.
Ooh, that's actually pretty high. So actually throughout like if you look back through the trip, you can remember that Amaris has actually been keeping her distance. And it does seem like there's been something on her mind for a while now. So when you come and you ask about finding a way to keep an eye on Nuri, and she's just gonna quietly respond, I need to clear my own head first. And then maybe we can come back to that.
Okay. I'm just after the last town, until I see some normalcy, return to normalcy with this group, I don't know how comfortable I feel with letting Nuri out of my sight, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Like with what's happened, it's hard to say what would happen next.
Okay. You do your thing, I'll just keep an eye on her, I guess, if I can.
So as we're traveling, would Val notice anything peculiar about the group now that it's been some time?
You would probably notice that there is a slight tension. A tension that you can tell they're trying to obscure. Or at least it's not like very present. It's a more subtle kind of tension. You notice that Douse and Amaris are sitting uh right by each other, with Dusty and Nuri very close to each other. Um, a little bit more separated from the other two. Uh,
Family feud.
I would
Family
also
feud.
add that you would notice Merilla is not there.
Yes.
Where is your final compatriot?
That is
She left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's an excellent question. I don't think she told us where she's headed to.
Were you guys not able to feed her properly enough?
Oh, trust me, she had enough bread to last her, I don't know what, the next 12 years.
Yeah, plenty of bread.
True, but it did feel at times like that's all we gave her. She might have needed some more nutritious stuff.
I would agree, but honestly, bread is all she would take.
She did turn down blueberry pie once.
Did.
Yeah.
She did do that. Well, Val and Echo, there was an incident at the last town we were at, and afterwards she just left and gave us a couple notes, so we might see her again, maybe. But I stated what my purpose was, which was to cure the comas at any cost, and anyone who could come, and others could get lost, and then she left. I didn't put it in that term, though, of course. I don't think I did. I might have. I was kind of angry. It was a rough day.
I don't think it came across like that. I don't think there was any particular argument that set her off, though. I think it was more... And he just kind of he gestures to himself and around, just kind of to everyone. Just us, I guess. I don't know. But she's off for now.
I mean, as long as she's well, then I guess that's what matters.
Yeah.
When we get to Sunshield, maybe we could help each other in searching for this alchemist person, the one who might know the alchemist, of course, not the actual alchemist because they're in a different part of the continent. But yes, maybe.
You've also heard rumor about the alchemist.
Oh, yes. They've woken someone from a coma, supposedly, and they are down in... What's that kingdom called again?
The Versailles dynasty.
Versailles dynasty. It's a dynasty, not a kingdom. Don't play it. They're down in Versailles dynasty, supposedly, and have woken someone from a coma, but all just rumors, and no one seems to have a description or name or anything. Just that.
And may we inquire why you're seeking the alchemist?
Did I not tell you? I'm surprised. My son is in a coma. Has been for 2 years, actually. Oh, and also our you were there. We saved my cousin, Amaris' sister, and well, we tried to resurrect her. You might not have actually been there for that point. She was dead when we were with you. And I think we split off after that. Used the resurrection spell, but she's now in a coma.
It's unfortunate that it didn't completely work.
Are you speaking of the elf we found in the false Hydra's lair?
Yes, that would be her.
Hmm. Yes, I would have imagined that a resurrection spell would have done the trick, but of course that it always depends. It's not a guarantee work either.
True.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the comas, it's a new development because I think the bodies are still coming back, but it's like the spirit's not there, if I'm understanding these comas correct.
Yes, the spirits are, well, as far as we can understand, being held captive. Maybe. They're being taken, and it's a very extreme, it's super painful process of the souls being taken. So,
Nuri, can you roll a perception check?
okay. Should I trust the online god dice today, or should I not? I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe you trust it this one time.
Oh,
21.
You trusted it. Oh gosh. So
21 perception.
You can definitely tell as you're talking about this, and like apparently it's painful and all that. You can definitely see Nuri tenses up a bit.
You mean Amaris?
Amaris, yes, sorry. Amaris tenses up at hearing about it.
Well, yes. Yes. Do you have any information besides that?
Val will look at Echo, and with the talk of the spirits and so forth, he'll just look at him and be like, sounds like it's more in your realm there.
I mean, I can only speak with those that choose to come to me. I can't quite summon them myself yet. I'm not talented enough.
Souls can come to you? Wait. Explain this more.
I was unaware this is interesting.
You are
necromancy?
aware that I passed through the veil once, correct?
Yes. You're dead. Yes.
Well, I may or may not have
Douse.
picked up a couple hitchhikers on my way back.
Oh.
Friendly hitchhikers?
They are mostly useful.
They're just around you right now?
They come and go.
Are they still connected to the land of the dead, and can they see what happens there on the hillside?
You know, I have not tried asking them before. I'm usually a bit wary of communing with them more than necessary. I didn't like being on their side, and I don't like the idea of them possibly taking me back.
Val's just going to watch this conversation between Echo and Nuri very intently, and he's making note of Nuri's expressions and the kind of questions she's asking, which may or may not be concerning to him, but he will not say anything.
So, when you say you don't, are they bad spirits? Could they possess
Usually
you?
ones who are just seeking companionship and haven't moved on yet. Usually they notice that I can commune with them, and so they'll come and greet me, and sometimes they have tales to tell. They're interesting at times.
Like what kind of tales? Is it tales from the hillside?
I mean, would you like to hear one? We have time to travel.
Yes.
Is
Especially
this
because it's the hillside.
Um, Echo is going to pull out a small crystal ball from his pack, and after a short incantation, you guys see that his eyes kind of roll back a little bit, and a almost like a voice that doesn't quite match him starts speaking, and it tells a tale of a very powerful warrior, almost a brutish one, who's likely a barbarian in his life. And he tells the tale of how he would slay monsters with his bare hands for the glory of his clan.
And it's coming from Echo's.
It's like Echo speaking, but it's not his voice.
Okay, so his mouth is moving and all that, but it's someone else.
Yes.
Yeah, think of a voiceover.
I don't have the actual story, so
Um,
no,
would
it's
this
a
be? Oh,
it's a
go ahead.
class feature called Tales from Beyond, where you basically roll a d12 and you get a random tale.
Ooh, I like that.
And this one's just called Tale of the Brute. And technically it gives me an ability I can use through the rest of the day. But
Oh,
I can
okay.
only do it once a day.
Alrighty. Well, you get that ability.
So for example, Tale of the Brute gives me the ability to once a day, I can choose any creatures I want within 30 feet, and they have to make a strength saving throw, or else they take thunder damage and get knocked prone.
I
Really
see.
cool. That's really cool.
Is this? I mean, I don't really. You guys are the first undeads I've ever spoken to.
And as the story finishes, Echo kind of just returns to his normal state and just kind of tucks the ball away, and he's like, well, was that an interesting story? I'm usually not there for when they're told.
It was interesting.
Wait, you're not there? Like it possessed you right then?
Of sorts. It's kind of like I take a quick nap.
Nuri's just now scribbling her journal.
Douse is very uneasy, but he's like, "Is this a normal thing that happens with undeads? I usually don't really talk with them."
No, this is not typical. It comes partially from my experience combined with my training. I chose to learn how to commune with the dead better as part of my training in the Bard College. It was out of the efforts of trying to learn how to commune with my family, but I have yet to be able to reach them.
Gotcha.
Trust me, it's just him.
Okay.
And Val's probably at this point, he's probably pulled out like a piece of wood and he's got his knife out and he's just kind of whittling at it. Like he doesn't like it's almost like he's heard this story before.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Well,
Okay.
I think it's good.
Well, as you guys continue traveling, and you were listening to that tale as it took a little bit of time. You guys see up ahead as a big city. As Ophelia kind of just over her shoulder goes, "City straight ahead. We'll be there in like 10 minutes. We'll be at the gates." 10 minutes pass and you guys come through a big archway. And there's a little bugger. You pass through a big archway and you start passing through a couple fields to get to the main part. You see a couple little cottages here and there before coming up to another gate. Or not a gate, but another archway with 2 guards on either side. They seem to just like wave you guys through. Little not as enthusiastic, just kind of, whatever, come on through. And you guys make it into an area that starts to get more filled with homes, and you start to walk on cobblestone roads and streets. So you get to the main center of town. And as you guys are coming through town, let me get us to the page. You notice something very peculiar. So the entire town is decked out in beautiful lights everywhere, and there's pumpkins that are carved. And I know this is a really dark map, but it's midday. Um, let's pop you guys up all the way up here. But there's lights everywhere. There's lots of laughter. Oop, I was about to put a second Dusty out. Okay. I guess I realize I cannot flop people out and talk at the same time.
A
There
little
we go.
too spooky for me.
Alrighty. And it is bustling. There's carved pumpkins at like people's doorsteps. There's strings of lights and lanterns everywhere. One thing you notice is that everyone is running around wearing costumes of monsters and animals and all sorts of different attires. You pass by someone dressed up as a satyr, and another person dressed up what looks to be like some sort of goddess figure. You notice a couple kids running around dressed up as like pigs and cats and dogs and whatever other animals. Um, as everyone just seems dressed up. You do notice uh, a a guy walking across in what looks to be like a pieced together gargoyle costume. Uh, and he looks up as he's passing you guys, and he waves excitedly and says, "Hey, are you guys new to town?"
Very new. What is going on?
It's Midsummer's Hunt!
Midsummer's Hunt? What are you
Hunt!
hunting?
No, a hunt. H-A-U-N-T.
Hunt?
Yes.
I don't follow.
It's a big celebration. All of us here were huge fans of, celebrating Hollow's Eve and everything, and it's very loved here, so we celebrate it twice a year.
Well, sounds interesting.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I love it here. The name's Garm, by the way.
Pleasure to meet you, Garm. So, the costumes are part of the festivities.
Yeah, so in order to get free access to all of the festivities, you have to wear a costume. Well, in order to get any access to any of the games and stuff going on, you got to wear a costume. Like, you can see mine, and you see that it's this pieced together gargoyle costume, and one of the wings on his costume is broken. And he goes, I'm gonna go fix my wing in just a minute, uh, but I'm super excited for the costume contest because I really want to win it. I've been trying every single year, and I'm gonna get it this year.
Sounds like a blast. I hope you enjoy and have fun.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for costumes that you can borrow so you can participate in the festivities, they've got some extra ones down at the tavern or the inn. Sorry, the inn.
Maybe we'll inquire about that.
Yeah, well, see you guys later. And he goes
Take care.
trotting. He goes trotting off, past the way, kind of like clinging onto the edge of his wing where it's like all broken, um, and you pass by a couple other folks that are waving. You see a couple kids by a big basin, and they're just bobbing for apples. Um, you see two kids that are like running past, and they're holding like little sparklers, um, and just running past.
As Nuri sees the kids run past, her face instantly goes from that more like cheery, oh, inquisitive, it's the babysitters, to suddenly just very grim and serious. It just drops immediately.
Well, looks like there might be some fun to have in this town.
I personally would just like a drink.
Yeah, we might be able to get information over in the tavern as well. On Dusty kind of like looks side to side. He's like, alchemist. Is that something we should be like keeping a secret? Nah, probably not. We're fine. he like, well, we better get started then.
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty. Ophelia pulls you guys into an area where she can park her carriage, and she goes to like a, oh, what are they called? Page. Uh, Hands him a couple copper and asks him to take care of the horses and the cart for now. Um, and she and Silas kind of go off, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna be heading back to the farm probably by tomorrow, so we're gonna enjoy the festivities. It was right nice to meet y'all."
And Val would he doesn't know her, so he's just like, ma'am, thank you kindly.
Of course. She kind of tips her cowgirl hat, and she walks off with Silas.
Does Val see a tavern at all nearby?
Yeah, so you see a sign for a place called the Leaky Spellbook. Um,
Ew.
yeah, nice little tavern. Um, and you guys can head over there. It looks to double as a tavern and an inn.
Val will head over to the tavern.
You said
Okay.
it was Leaky Spellbook, like a
Yes, the
wizard
Leaky
spellbook?
Spellbook. Mm-hmm.
Amaris is going to be like, you know what? I'm going to head there too, and go for the tavern.
Okay, I'm assuming everyone's going for the tavern.
Let's do that.
Okay, all right. Never split the party, right? Okay. Okay, I have another map for the tavern. Okay, can you guys see?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Let me find. Sorry, I forgot to put this one character out. 'Cause forgot it was midday. Where are you? Okay. Oh wait, she is dressed up like that. Okay. She's in a different room. Sorry. Okay. Alrighty, you guys are here and you enter into the tavern. You see a couple different characters around. Off on one side, you see an older woman, and what looks to be either her daughter or her granddaughter beside her in a table. They're sharing a meal together. Off in the corner, you see a half-orc woman who's got kind of some war paint painted on her face. Um, she looks to have this big axe on her belt, and kind of like some skulls on her shoulders as like shoulder pads, and just very decked out to look like this crazy barbarian woman. And next to her is this human guy just wearing a big like pirate's hat. As they're just chatting. You do also see an elven woman who is just silently sipping some tea. And then at this main table here, you see two halflings, both women, that are talking to a old turtle man who's wearing this big eye patch on one eye. And they seem to just be having a conversation. And then over you do see the bartender, a big burly man, over there.
Shall we get ourselves a table?
You guys go ahead and pick out a table, and she's gonna head for the counter.
Hold on, everyone. Would Val recognize the turtle at all?
You would recognize the turtle.
And for anybody perceptive enough, you probably would see Val give kind of a half smile and says, I think we already got ourselves a table, and he'll go and sit at the table with the turtle and the two halflings.
Alrighty. You head over and you sit next to the turtle. And he goes, "Hey, Val, good to see ya.
Likewise.
How are things going along these days? Still adventuring?"
Still looking.
All right, all right. So you've got Echo with you. Echo, how's it going? How's the search?
Hey, Jimbo.
Yeah.
The search continues.
All righty. Well, if you ever need anything, my door's always open.
That's funny that you should mention that. We are actually hoping to do more than just enjoy the celebrations here. We've been hearing some rumors, and he gestures to the rest of the group. We've been hearing some rumors about, and he kind of leans in because he's not going to just talk out loud with this. He will say, the alchemist.
Oh, the alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a couple things about the alchemist. They say she or he or whatever, that they have woken someone up from a coma. I've heard talk about how they know how to bring someone back to life. There's been a lot of rumors circling about the alchemist.
Yes, and we thought it was very worth our while to investigate into this matter, as we do not know the motivations behind these things.
Mm-hmm. That definitely is a very good venture to head into.
Mm-hmm.
I see you've also got some new companions. Are they looking into this as well?
It would appear so. We met them on the road, but we've known them from before. They're most closely tied with the guild side that Dorothy's over. She brought them in.
Dorothy.
Yeah. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Do we recognize him?
No, you do not recognize this turtle. So
Okay. He doesn't sell rabbits, does he?
he does not sell rabbits.
Just checking.
I wish he sold rabbits.
I forgot that guy was a turtle as well.
Yeah. It's a melting pot of races here.
Echo's gonna lean into Jimbo and be like, "But I'd be careful around this lot. They're trouble. Last time we ran into them, we ended up fighting off a false hydra that was trying to eat all of us."
Oh. Well, that's not
Was
very
the-
good. Are you saying the rabble rousers?
I'm just saying that whenever they show up, things tend to not go well.
Well,
George just looks to the ground. She does not say anything.
that's a little foreboding, with the festivities going on tonight. Rather.
Well, Jimbo, you would know Echo by now. He likes to sometimes exaggerate things for the sake of story. We're the ones that Dorothy asked to look after them on that little venture there with the false hydra. And we did ultimately and he looks at Echo like we did recommend them to the guild to Dorothy. So they're in their hearts are in the right place, as from what we can tell. And he kind of looks around, but he kind of sets his eyes on Nuri for just a fraction of a second longer.
Careful, she's married.
We're married. uh he uh he nods and just says, well, kind of places his hand on the table, a little softly, gently, and goes, well, if you recommended them, then I'm sure they're great. And he says that a little bit louder so you guys actually hear that. And he goes, you all take a seat on the table and round of drinks on me. And he motions to the bartender, and the bartender starts prepping some drinks to bring over.
So as that's happening, Val will take the courtesy to introduce everybody to Jimbo, who is the guild warden here in the city.
Oh, that makes so much more sense now.
What was his
Nuri
name?
being like,
Jimbo. Write that down. Write that down.
Jimbo, Jimbo.
Just want to make sure that was his actual name and not a nickname.
No,
Gil.
that's how Jimbo introduced himself to us, and that's what we've called him ever since.
Righto. It was the name my mum called me from the very beginning, and that's the name I'll stick with.
It's a good name.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, yes?
I was gonna say you're not the one then who's been rumored to know the alchemist around here.
No, no, no. Um, that is not me. I have heard a couple rumors of the alchemist, but I don't know where they have originated from. Um, I know they've circled around here a bit. I heard it from uh one of the other adventurers out here. He had heard it from someone else. There's just been a lot of rumors circling around, basically. But I've heard that there is someone here that knows about it, knows more about the alchemist, but I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
Do you have any rumors of where they might hang out? Where they could be found? Who might know them? Who's been spreading those rumors? Anything?
Well, it's been among mostly the lower townsfolk that are around in this area. So I would probably ask maybe some people around here, probably people participating in the festivities. Those would be ones to ask around. Ask around and check it out.
Jimbo, would you say that those that I have worked with in the past in a former career would be more knowledgeable in this?
Depends on who you're asking, you know.
Well, lower citizens might be one way to describe them. I'm thinking even lower.
Ah, those kind of people. They might know, but again,
You know
I'm
where
not sure.
they hang out?
Uh, Nowadays, the city's been going on a very big crackdown on crime lately. The nobles and the king and queen trying to make the city great again, something slogan like that. But sorry, just had to be funny. Um, but they've just been trying to clean up the streets and uh, make things better. So I don't know where they're hiding themselves nowadays. It's been a recent push. But I'll send out one of my men, and I can get you that answer by tonight.
Yes, if we can get that before late evening, I plan on prowling around there at that time.
Wait,
Alrighty.
so are you saying that the wall wasn't helping to keep the vagrants out of the city?
Uh, the wall only does so much. The wall is only around like the inner city. It's mostly just like archway points that lead to the main city. But yeah, this city, they're trying to do what they can with the resources they've got. And you know how resources have been dwindling the past 40 years. And it's a bit
All right.
Well,
terrible.
as long as they're not ruining the festivities.
Oh, of course not. You see, that most of the people in here are still dressed up as well, and outside it's even more so. You know, you guys should join in the festivities. There's costumes here that and he points over to like a trunk over off in the corner that is you can just see like clothes peeking out of it. Those are all free costumes that are provided for any travelers coming in that would like to participate in the festivities. I hear there's a lot of prizes going out.
Now, hear me out, guys. We're here to find rumors. And I think the best way we might be able to find rumors is to ask people maybe at these festivities.
Would Val kind of get a vibe of what general feel people are going for? Is it just like a good naturedness, or are costumes, is there like a scary element to this?
Is there a theme?
Or is it purely just any kind of costume of anything?
It's from kind of what you've seen so far is that it's costumes of pretty much anything. Generally, they're more focusing away from dressing up as adventurers because that gets confusing. And you know that in past times they've had problems with people dressing up as adventurers, and just lots of complications with the Adventurers Guild and everything. So most people stray away. If you dress up as an adventurer, you don't really get into any of the activities. Just for confusion and people visiting the city and whatnot. Um, but most people will dress up as like witches or animals. Like most of the kids will dress up as like insects or animals or things like that. Adults will dress up as like pirates, very flamboyant pirates, to not be confused with adventurers. Uh, or dress up as barbarian lords and very obviously unadventurer like styles, or at least they try to get to that far, or gargoyles and skeletons and zombies and whatnot.
So avoiding the wearing your own uniform from work as a costume,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah. It's not like a law enforcement officer is going to go out dressed up as one. That's also one that you can't dress up as. That is a law here.
Like as
Val wouldn't
cops.
be Val, as I kind of stated earlier, they're kind of wearing plain cloaks. He's not wearing anything with the Adventurers Guild emblazoned anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of more looks like I would say definitely kind of adventuring type, but not too decked out. He would be dressed as more as more of a traveler, just trying to get from one place to another.
Okay. Yeah, you would know that you would probably need to be in a different kind of costume. Something more obviously a costume in order to participate in the festivities, if that is what you wished.
Val kind of eyes the trunk and just says, I'll think about it. I may just kind of marinate in the general vibes of the celebrations.
Okay.
I feel like people would be more willing to talk to us if we blended in.
Upon hearing this conversation, Echo is going to pull down his hood, revealing his severely burned face from his previous issues. And
You
he's
don't
going
need
to,
a mask.
he's like, I don't really need much of a costume, but I guess I can up it a little bit. And he's going to cast Minor Illusion on himself and
Okay.
turn his cloak into like, look like burned rags. And he's going to have like several chains hanging off of himself.
Okay, okay. Cool
I
costume.
love it.
Alrighty, is anyone else going to look at the costume bucket?
Douse is like death staring at Nuri, trying to get her to start doing things. Because he's still in the mindset of trying to get her mind off of it from when he talked with Amaris last time about the men's core. Like, let's get her doing stuff. Come on.
Yeah, and the Jimbo does pipe up and he says, "Yeah, if you're wanting to look for rumors and everything, it probably would be best if you were to mingle and be a part of the festivities, because that's how you're going to be able to get into that and talk to them more, and everyone will open up to you more. There are little uh, adventurers around here haven't been doing the best keeping up good relationships in a sense. I'm friends with pretty much most people here, but most of the townsfolk believe that adventurers are just using them or just trying to squeeze information out of them at any moment's notice. So I would say that if you're trying to get rumors, you'd probably want to not look like an adventurer.
Val just sighs super heavily, takes the biggest draught from his ale, and he'll go over to the chest to see what's in there.
Okay.
Douse would join him, deciding that he's going to pick one out for Nuri.
Okay, anyone else going over to the trunk to look at the costumes? No. Oh. Dusty?
Nah, I have an idea for a costume.
Alrighty, you can make your own. Okay.
If you read the chat, Roxy Bird did put in something for that.
I hear. Oh, to be Sand Barbie.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Alrighty. Well, with that, the costumes that you do find in there, is a flesh golem costume. You find a ghost costume, a jester one, a pirate, a skeleton, a vampire, and a witch.
Val will take the vampire costume.
Classic.
He is a
Alrighty.
vampire. It makes so much sense.
I mean, it just works.
Dallas will be going through the kids' costumes.
All right. It's also variations of that.
Nuri seems kind of defeated, I guess, or like annoyed. It's kind of like this mixture of like, ugh. And she'll go over and she'll take the witch outfit and she'll have her staff out, her magical staff as her like witchy witch.
Okay. You can get in the witch outfit.
What were the options again? So there was
Flesh golem, ghost, jester, pirate, skeleton, vampire, witch. And there's multiples of the same costume too.
Dallas will take the jester.
The jester, okay. And just write down which one that you guys are as well, so you can remember.
I don't think that'll be too hard on my end.
True.
Maybe not.
Amaris, Dusty.
Amaris is gonna pick one out later. Like right now, she's up at the counter. But later she will pick out the pirate.
Okay. Alrighty, so you can grab the pirate. Okay. We'll come back to you at the counter here in just a second. Dusty, what were you planning?
So Dusty, that is a good question. He's going to go outside, like toward the forest area, and he's going to begin gathering tree branches and sticks and leaves and stuff. And then he's going to like form it all with like druid craft / shillelagh / mold earth to make this nice big flowing cloak and like this large wide brimmed hat.
Gosh, he's going to be Groot.
Like just kind of like vines and branches making up like clothing that is surrounding him. Now you may wonder
Okay.
what this is. This is the Archdruid of the Fiesta, because whenever he needs to, he can just like pull back his wooden coat and boom, party mode activated. There it is. The life of the party's here.
Sand Barbie. That's what it is.
Sand Barbie Archdruid.
So it's kind of like a tree is like your costume, or like a
Yeah, kind of. But it's more like druidic armor that has been crafted and created from the trees themselves. Well, less armor, more like clothing.
Okay,
I'm
but if a kid
imagining
comes
like
up to you
that
and
again.
says, "Are you a tree?" What's the answer?
He'd probably tell him, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
Begrudgingly, maybe, but he'd tell him, yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. So, all right, costumes planned out. Gucci. I am fabulous. Alrighty. I love that, Roxy Bird. Roxy Bird, you are like on top of these like awesome zingers here tonight. So you're amazing. Um, okay. Alrighty. Well, with that, what are you guys gonna do? Oh, wait, let's go back to Amaris real quick at the tavern, at the bar. Maris, what would you like to do?
Mars is gonna go up to the counter and try and get the bartender's attention.
Okay. You can get his attention. Um, as and he sends a serving or a barmaid over to deliver the drinks to the rest of the table, so you guys now have your drinks. And he kind of like wipes his hands off on his apron and then like goes back or smock and comes over to you and he's like, "What can I get for you?"
I was actually just wondering if you accept performances here.
What do you mean? Like are you accepting strangers coming in and performing?
In a way, I'm a performer. I like I'm willing to even just do it for free. But I just wanted to make sure it was okay with you first because this is your tavern and I wanted to be respectful of that.
Well, I mean, I run and operate it for the most part, but I don't own this. But yeah, you can perform. First song is always going to be free. Because if you're not good, then we'll probably have you stop playing. Just tavern policy. But after that one, every song after that is 2 silver, 2 silver piece.
You got it. Thank you so much. And she's going to head over to the stage. As she's doing so, she's going to be humming a bit, almost like practice,
Mm-hmm.
and do kind of like little dance steps as she weaves in between chairs and people. And like basically practicing as she makes her way up to the stage.
Okay. Alrighty.
So would I need to roll performance?
Yes. Performance
Okay.
on starting your first song.
Okay. Since I did basically practice on the way up, can I get advantage?
Sure. Sure, you can get advantage.
Oh yeah!
Okay, that's a natural 20. For a total of 26.
Put it
Alrighty.
on the board, Greg. Put it on the board.
Taking off the
First
night.
nat 20 of the night.
Alrighty. So you kick it off with a stellar performance. And so much so that the bartender actually comes over and puts 2 copper like he comes over with a bowl and like sets it on a little stool next to you and puts 2 of his own copper in there, and he's like, Keep on playing, you're good."
What type of performance is she doing?
Oh yeah,
Um,
would you like to describe your performance?
yes. So Amaris, um, the kind of bard that she is more focused around singing and dance. So she is actually singing and dancing across the stage, and I do actually have a song picked out for this. But yeah, that's basically what she does. If you want to look it up, I will put a link of it into the chat. It's called Dancer in the Moon.
Ooh.
And if time permits, she will do another song as well.
You may continue playing. Is there, and as you're doing this, is there anything for the group that is, Roxy Bird can vouch for that song. It's a banger. So can she get advantage from the audience? For you, Roxy Bird, yes. But we'll just say that the first performance role is the one that we'll go for with the rest of her songs. Um, but yes, that is amazing. On that note, for the rest of the group at the table, now that there's this like nice music, you guys have your costumes. Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
So to be clear, she's gonna roll again with advantage from the audience for
Mhm.
how the rest of her performances are gonna go. Is that correct?
No, I said that we're just gonna go off of her first performance roll.
Okay.
Mhm. So off of the natural 20. Because Roxy
And
Bird,
so
you're amazing. So we're just gonna go because of your support. She gets the nat
okay.
20 for all the songs.
Okay.
Because Roxy Bird, you're amazing.
Audience inspiration.
Audience inspiration. There we go.
While
See,
Echo's
audience
watching
can
the show,
influence. Hmm?
oh, sorry, while Echo's watching the show, can he help his fellow bard by contributing some lights with prestidigitation and minor illusions?
You may do so. So now lights and are dancing around and adding to this beautiful display that Amaris is doing. You notice that a couple of the patrons here do come over and drop a couple coppers into the little bowl by um, where you're performing. Alrighty. Anything else you
I
guys would
was
like
really
to?
hoping for that nat 20.
Yeah, that was awesome. Anything else you guys would like to talk about or discuss while you're at the table?
Can Douse join in the music, start dancing in his jester costume?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
You may.
It's gonna start out smaller. He's just gonna do the sides. Yeah. The eventually he's gonna just try to have fun and get into trying to live into the festivities.
Alrighty. Awesome.
I
Okay.
think even Val would sit and start kind of nodding to the music and kind of tapping his fingers on the table as if he's enjoying himself.
This song is a banger.
As if he is enjoying himself.
Awesome. Okay. So you guys enjoy a couple songs by Amaris as time kind of passes on. Jimbo does take his leave from the table after a little while. As he says, I'm gonna go get that scout for you guys. And he does take his leave.
Thanks, Jimbo.
He does the little like 2-finger salute as he leaves. You know that it is getting into early evening. So more people are actually coming into the tavern for kind of like rush hour for dinner. You guys are able to enjoy a light meal here if you would like to, or a heavy meal, depending on what you want. If you would like to, a light meal will be 5 copper, a heavy meal is 1 silver. So you can just tag those off as you guys have your meal, because after dinner is when the festivities begin, and you can start heading, or like all the events and everything, and you can start talking to people out there.
So I wasn't going to announce this because I was just doing it for fun. But I was like, let's roll performance just to see how well he dances. And I rolled him that one.
It is not contributing to the show, but people can tell that you're enjoying yourself, even though it's not very good dancing.
He is a jester in the full name.
Exactly, full jester.
Yeah,
So
if
as
that
a
wasn't a that one, I wouldn't have brought it up. But
You were saying, Parker?
So as a gesture, would a nat 1 technically be a nat 20 for him?
Because nat 1 nerds.
he is playing the fool.
Exactly.
I love that.
He's that weird uncle at the weddings who dances, and you're like, just stop. No.
Mm.
To anyone paying attention to Nuri, they like she's just kind of like keeping to herself in her notebook. Seems like she's like watching Amaris and then scanning out people to maybe go talk to and stuff, but she doesn't actually get any food or anything to eat.
Okay.
So with Val, he'll get a heavy meal, and he'll have asked for, um, he'll have asked for another, like a secondary drink.
Okay.
I will say that his meal is definitely on the raw side. Um, so
Okay.
I'm sure the who's ever serving is kind of like, okay, like weird, but whatever.
Yeah, they gave you the like option of like rare, medium rare, like for your steak, and
Rare.
I want
yeah.
to live it.
Alrighty.
Kill it
again.
You do get all of that.
Yeah, and he'll actually push the other drink toward Nuri.
What kind of drink was it again?
Probably
like-
something that Val would have, which is probably either another ale or I would probably say what he would have ordered. He would have ordered a whiskey with his meal, and then an ale to pass to Nuri. Actually, no, make it a mead. It'll be mead.
High or low?
Low, high.
You push it towards her and she looks down and she gives you a smile. I was like, that's very kind of you, Val, really, but I have a lot of work to do tonight, and when I get drunk, I get very, very drunk, because she'll push it back towards you. But thank you.
He'll look at you. You need some nourishment if you're going to continue working. And besides, it's a very low alcoholic level. That'll do you some good.
Roll for persuasion.
He'll also add that he'll kind of imply too that if you don't take the drink, then he'll have wasted his money on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Roll for persuasion.
Yeah. I did not become proficient in that. Oh well. Oh,
Okay,
these dice
also
do
the
hate me.
comment from Nero Nimbus, bring it to the table, live and I'll handle the rest. No salt. Okay, that's awesome. You're amazing. Loving the comments, guys.
He only rolled a 6.
Nuri nods and was like, right, of course, you're right. She'll take the drink and she'll like wander off into the crowd. But when she thinks she's out of a spot where you will see, she's going to hand it off to someone else.
I would imagine with Val's even passive perception, he probably would have noticed that, but he won't say anything. But he'll leave you alone. He just has a very concerned look on his face.
I just love the babysitters. I'm just gonna say that. They're the best.
They're
We
the
take our job
best,
seriously.
doing all they can to be the best babysitters. Alrighty. So you notice that a lot of the people are dressed up, and they are now filtering out of the tavern. And oh, also, Amaris, where you are, that's actually not a stage, that's stairs to the upstairs. So you could have been in front of that. Um,
Well, then
but
where be
and
the stage?
She was dancing on the stairs. She made a stage
well,
out of
the
it.
stairs actually have like a chain on them that say like no admittance on them right now. Um, you can ask around to see why, but
Since people are leaving, uh, Nuri's going to go out and find some people to talk to.
okay.
All right, let's get this party
Adults.
going.
Just
Douse would
stop.
follow her. After taking one last swig of whatever he was drinking, some semi-strong, or not semi-strong, about middle of the road.
Okay. Let me bring you guys
Echo
back.
is gonna follow, and he's gonna make sure to dramatically drag his feet and occasionally groan.
Val will follow with his whiskey.
Alrighty. Well, you guys are now here in the town center. You do notice that there are lots of different booths and stalls that are selling like candy apples and all sorts of different treats and there's a thing called popped corn. There's like so many different things. Um, there's carnival games, bobbing for apple. You notice that the three main ones are Dunk the Bugbear, that you see happening right over here. There is someone that is dressed up as a bugbear that is sitting on like a little in a little dunking tank with a target on the side. Um, there's a little sign that says, "You can't dunk me," as he's just sitting there in his little bugbear costume. You also see that there is a pumpkin lantern carving competition going on, that they're going to be starting for in a little bit. There's also, you see signs for a haunted house in the tavern that you can also go attend. That starts in like 10 minutes. And the haunted house is going to be like going on throughout the night. It's just opening in 10 minutes. And
I
there's lots
know
of
this.
people around.
I would imagine this is probably going to be a pretty difficult role, but it's something Val would be trying to do anyways, despite what's going on. He's going to try to keep his eyes peeled for anybody that's noteworthy, anybody that's acting suspicious, anybody that may look interesting. Although with all the costumes, I imagine that's going to be a hard role to make, but
Mm-hmm.
he's going to try nonetheless because that's what he does.
Okay, make a roll.
As
Would you
a
like that as
dutiful
perception?
companion, can Echo cast guidance to assist him?
Yeah, you may.
Would it be perception?
I'll say yeah, perception.
Okay, just want to double check.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, it's gonna be 23.
23. Okay.
Is it with that a D4?
Yes, it is.
All right. 23 is pretty good. Good. Um, you people of note that you see there, it is pretty tricky because there are so many people just running around in costumes, lots of kids, families all around. Um, people of note is you do see over here there looks to be a red-haired woman who's wearing a very flamboyant pirate's costume. Um, she seems to actually have like a clipboard in hand, and she's like kind of inspecting things and like writing notes down on her clipboard. As she seems to just be overly very concerned about not so much concerned like in a bad sense, but more of like paying attention to what is happening. You see her sights are set a lot on like the carnival games and the booths and all of those setups there. Um, you also see off on the very far end, you see an armed escort happening, where no one can kind of get into this little like bubble of people. But it looks like to be, do you, how many times has Val been to this city?
I would imagine maybe at least one other time. I've always pictured both Val and Echo just because of who they are. They would be traveling quite a bit.
Okay.
Um, not only for their own interest, but also because of the guild. They're ones that aren't afraid to take. I would imagine that. And I mean,
Mhm.
Brandon, Echo can say otherwise, but Val's definitely not afraid to take far off jobs,
Okay.
especially if they seem of interest to him.
Alrighty. And
But
with
I can roll
that,
something if you want.
yeah, roll history for me.
Okay. No, that's a nat one.
Oh, yeah. No, you can tell that these people are important that are in this armed escort here.
It's been a few years
Yeah,
since I've.
it's been a little while.
Mhm.
But they seem to be important as they're just perusing around, looking at the different various like stalls and games that are going on. The four people who are in the armed escort, there is two, so they're all tieflings. Um, there is a man and a woman. They're all dressed very elegantly. Um, and there are two twin girls that look to be about 16 maybe, that are trailing behind them.
They're all tieflings, you said?
Yes,
Hmm. Interesting. Do they appear wealthier?
very wealthy.
Got it. Okay.
Hmm.
So like they're not even really hiding the fact of how wealthy they are. Got it.
No. And you can tell that a lot of the townsfolk like recognize them. Some people will give them space and like back away. Other people like look over and they like smile and like wave happily at them. Which the two the sorry, the older woman who looks to be the mother of like the girls, so it looks like a family, mom, dad, and then two twin girls. The mom it seems to be the only one that's like waving happily back. Everyone else is just like kind of smiling and like looking around at like all the festivities.
Okay. I'll make note of that.
Mhm. And those are the two people of note that you can see right now. Other than the bugbear guy who you guys are closest to, and he's going, I bet you can't dunk me. Try and do it.
Okay, there's two things that Nuri would like to do.
Okay.
She's actually going to summon her mage hand and go up to the dunking thing.
Okay.
And she's gonna grab the ball to do the dunking. And she's gonna have the hand come around kind of sneakily on the other side, and she like chucks the ball and the hand's just gonna slap it. So she for sure dunks the guy.
Can I use minor illusion to hide the fact that the hand is there?
Yeah, I was gonna say you can see the hand. Can you use minor illusion while you're using it on yourself?
I would drop it on myself for a second.
Okay. Alrighty, you can do so. So I will give you advantage on your rolls because of this. Um but you come over and you grab one of like the balls as you're able to participate in this. Um So what you notice is that there are actually 3 targets around the basin, and in order to dunk the bugbear, or the guy dressed as a bugbear, you have to strike each of the 3 targets in succession. So you have to get um you have to hit each of them in succession. Which
Okay.
you will get advantage on all of your rolls because you're using Mage Hand with an illusion on it to hide it in order to hit these targets. So what you'll do is you'll roll base d20 and add your dexterity modifier to it. So it's basically like a
Okay.
ranged attack roll. So he's going, I bet you can't hit me. It's a weak arms, you know.
19.
19. Okay, the first one you just go and you fire and you hit it spot on without even needing like the mage hand. It goes straight onto the target.
Okay. So just do it again 2 more times.
Yep. Roll again.
17.
17. Okay. You strike true again.
18.
18 already. You were just very impeccable with all these throws. And with the help of Mage Hand a little bit too, as you strike all 3 and he goes crashing down into the water below. And he pops back up and he's like, "Oh, good
Nuri
job."
just Nuri just turns around and she kind of has her like head kind of tilts or witch hat's kind of down and she just has a little like smirk like and then she'll go up to the woman with the clipboard.
Okay. Alrighty. Is anyone joining her? Is there anything anyone else wanted to do?
Douse would be game.
Val. Oh, sorry.
Game for what?
To follow up behind her to try and dunk the guy.
Okay. We can definitely do that. What was Val going to do?
I was just curious because I would imagine I know Echo pretty well. I would know. I don't know if I would necessarily, because I'm probably still near him, notice him drop his minor illusion, but then bring it back up. So I'm like, okay, he casts minor illusion again. And watching Nuri, I don't know if I would kind of be able to piece together what's happening, or if I need to roll to see if I can deduce what's happening with that.
I would roll Arcana.
Arcana? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Water
not
bugs
insight.
bear.
Dang it.
Love that Neuronimbus.
Nope.
He's
I
just
got a
got
7.
really long legs.
7, yeah. You wouldn't have noticed from that. You just know that Nuri's pretty good at hitting the targets.
Alright.
At this point, he has climbed back up onto his seat, and Douse, you may attempt the rolls for this, as he's like, "No way, you can't hit me."
I got this. He's gonna do like a little cartwheel over, trying to live into the vibe of a jester. The little
Okay.
cartwheel, and then he's gonna throw the first one.
Echo's gonna discreetly pat him on the back and be like, "You got this," and then try to cast guidance on him without him noticing.
Does guidance work with this? Is because it's an attack.
It's just a
throw, right?
D4 to the next skill roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alrighty, so you can roll and a straight D20, add your dexterity modifier, and then add 1d4 to the roll as well.
well, this first one's gonna peg it straight on, because that's 16 plus. Where is my? Here we go. It is a 16 plus 2, so that's a 18.
18 to hit. You strike with the ball and it hits the first target.
Okay, that is a nat 20.
Nat 20 on the next one. Okay, this one you just throw and strike and it just bullseyes right into the center.
You thought you could run? That is 5.
5 on the... So you feeling a little bit of this like gusto, and he's like, "No way, you'll make the next one," and you're like, "Oh, want to bet?" And
Watch
you
me!
watch me as you chuck the next one, but your arm kind of like works a little bit like a muscle in there because the cartwheel. It's been a while since you've done a cartwheel, so like it's a little twerked there. As you throw the ball and it flies past the target. Um. And all the targets reset, and he goes, better luck next time.
I'll get you later. He's gonna walk off like a little tinge of like purple from blushing as he walks off.
Alrighty. Perfect. All right, so are you guys all heading over towards the girl with the clipboard? The bugbear got scared. Yeah, he did.
I'd step. I leave it up to Nuri because she got the prize. So I'd let her
Oh
go to the
yes,
clipboard.
the prize. You guys Nuri, you did get a prize for dunking him.
Oh, I didn't realize
Um,
that. She didn't realize that, so someone probably would have had told her because she was like walking
Yes,
away.
there is a person who's like managing the event on the side. It's actually at a big candy apple stand that there's like a line of people that are like trying to get candied apples. But she comes over and she hands you a candied apple and she goes, "This is your prize for dunking the bugbear." Um, and so this candied apple that you get functions as a healing potion for the duration of the festivities.
Oh,
But it does take a full minute to eat.
okay.
Douse would walk up and be like, "I'll beat you at the next one." Kind of just walk over, trail off.
Say that to Nuri.
Yep.
She just nods.
Alrighty. Well, you guys head on over. I'm gonna just move y'all down a bit. You guys head on over towards the woman in the pirate hat, who's got her clipboard and she's overlooking everything, making sure everything looks well and looks nice. Um, She does not seem to be paying any attention to you guys.
Okay. Sorry, I was writing down what I got. Okay. Nuri would just go right up and like tap her on the shoulder and be like, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, are you enjoying the festivities?
Oh, yes, very much. So delightful and wonderful and everything. Quick question. You seem like a very intelligent, wonderful, in the know person. Have you heard? I heard a very crazy rumor while I was at the inn getting my costume for tonight. That there's someone here who knows the alchemist. Do you know who this is? I would love to talk to them.
She kind of like it kind of almost seemed like she was a little bit like as you mentioned like the alchemist of like, oh, like I heard about this, and uh she started kind of like looking off at like one of the other booths and writing a note down and then kind of coming back to you. Um where she's like, "Oh, you must be one of those adventurers, huh? Right? First
Oh,
thing you
I'm a
want to know is
researcher.
first thing you want to know is getting information on all the rumors you've always heard."
Hardly. I'm a researcher. I'm libraries. I don't fight people. No, no. No.
Roll deception.
Okay. Hmm. Should I do it online or not? Okay. Well, that was right. Okay. That was terrible. 10.
10. She kind of looks you up and down. She goes, I get that you're bookish. You seem like it, but you've also got a whole party with you. You just scream adventure vibes, and nothing against you. It's just you guys never want to get to know the people for who they are. You just go straight to what you want to get out of them. So please just enjoy the festivities.
Val is immediately going to grab Nuri's arm and gently pull her away from the woman.
I'll be right back. Someone's at my door.
All right, so you pull her
Oh,
aside
you really did
for a
pull her
moment.
away.
You pulled her away for a
Impressive.
moment.
Apparently, a little more literally than I intended there, but can I do I do an insight check on the woman and her, just get a general vibe of the woman and her response to see if there's maybe a hint of, or if she's just very straightforward and blunt.
Yeah, roll insight.
Okay. Just while we wait for Nuri here. Got a 12.
12. Okay. So from like her body posture and everything, like she really just seems very blunt. She isn't one to uh be very eloquent about her words. You can kind of tell she just kind of says it how it is. She also does seem very overly like concerned about how the event is going, so it does seem like that's also preoccupying her mind very heavily. So she's not too like badly focusing on like the conversation. Um, but you also can tell by like the looks of her, she does seem to be a bit more like on the wealthy side. Um, and in the sense of like it seems like she has a more important role here than just someone enjoying the festival.
Val will just look at the woman. My apologies for my companion. We've been at this for a while, and sometimes it blends in with our normal lives a little bit. We will certainly enjoy the festivities. They look amazing.
Thank you. Yes. It's been very fun planning this and everything. So I understand. Sorry for my bluntness, but
No, it's okay. I get the impression that you planned this. This seems like a lot of work.
Yes, I'm the city planner for
Ah.
holidays and festivals, and this one's one of our bigger ones.
Ah.
Mhm.
How long have you been doing this? I mean, it just seems so well put together. I have to ask a little bit.
Thank you. This is about 10 years of experience
Oh,
working
wow.
here.
Wow, very diligent.
Yes, I work with the council on this, and it's, it's exciting. They really love the work that I put forward.
Oh, well, it definitely seems like a lot of fun. We were just over at the dunk tank with the bugbear. So,
Ah, yes, very he loves doing that role every year.
no, it's the same person, really?
Yes, he loves it.
Oh, and Val will like kind of laugh a bit. Um,
She laughs along with you and mentions, and she goes, "Let me tell you, his wife also appreciates it. He gets a bath pretty much every 10 minutes."
ah, well, we could. That's something I know when we're off doing stuff on the clock here. We definitely wish we had that luxury a little bit more often, but so
Mm-hmm.
but what better place than to come to this fair city here? So I
Mm-hmm.
won't take up much more of your time. What was your name? I didn't catch it.
Lion. Lion
Lion.
Undertree.
Lion Undertree. And he'll just extend a hand and he'll be like, "My name is Val.
Okay.
We are definitely enjoying being here, and I will imagine that we will continue to do so, but we'll let you go. I don't wish to take much more of your time."
Oh, of course. Well, if you want to chat anymore, I'm more than happy to. She shakes your hand, and she says, "Who are the rest of your companions here?"
Oh, and he'll just introduce people by first name. He make a point not to say last names or any
Mm-hmm.
other unnecessary um details about them. So
Mm-hmm.
we just rolled in a few hours ago. So we were I'm so glad that I mean you guys thought of everything. You thought of the spare costumes over in the tavern. We really appreciated that. It's been a while since I've been to the city. I almost partially forgot that the festivities were happening today, so it was a very pleasant surprise on my part.
I'm glad that you guys are enjoying them. It's been very fun to plan, and yes, we love having visitors come and love have sharing our festivities and sharing the fun with them. It's a
All right.
great family friendly night.
Oh, absolutely. But as I said, I don't want to keep you distracted. I know it looks like you're trying to make sure things continue to run smoothly. I would hate to interrupt that, but I'm sure we will cross paths again.
All
So
right. Wonderful meeting you, Val.
you as well. Hope to see you around.
Quick
Yes.
question. What happened while I left? So Val was like grabbing Nuri's arm to pull her aside. I guess he was just like pulled her aside and started talking. Is that correct? Was
Yep.
any like important stuff dropped, or was it just the nice pleasantries of place is fun, the place is cool. Thanks for having us here. Was that it?
Yeah, she planned the whole thing. She's a city planner, so she is pretty much in charge. That's why she looks the way she does and acts the way she is. And so
She's
Val
also
was
the
just
alchemist.
Oh, what?
Sly note. No.
so Val just made it a point to immediately get to know her. So,
Okay.
but
But
not to
no
get
like hints of what we were looking for was dropped. It was just
nope.
city planner. Okay.
Val wasn't trying. So, but
Okay.
he'll continue to pull you aside and just kind of whisper to you. We will find information. Let us wait until Jimbo Scout gets back to us. I know how to find information. I've used it all. I've used these skills all my life. Just trust me.
Nuri just nods. High or low, Emily?
Mm. Let's go high.
Okay. Nuri will just nod and then kind of turn to the rest of the party and be like, well, it's getting late. And I'm not so great at the people thing. So I'm gonna just go find a library. And Houdini can find me if you guys find anything. And she'll like motion to her owl to like go sit on Val's shoulder.
You sure you don't want to stay?
No, I'd much rather be with books. Thank you though.
Well, I'll give you some company then.
No, thank you. Keep
There's
having
some things I
fun.
need to
She's trying
study
to
up
book
as
it out
well.
of here.
Lion.
Wait, what did Echo say?
Oh, I'm gonna lean over to Douse and say, I think she's trying to book it out of here.
It's completely fine. There's a few things I need to look up as well at the library regarding my bracelets, as you may know.
If the library is even open during these festivities.
Nuri seems disgusted at that thought that it would be closed.
You can ask.
I'm pretty sure people in the next town over saw that eye roll.
Dusty, he'll turn and to Lion and say, "Hey, Lion, are the libraries open at this time?"
Oh, no, nothing's open right now.
Okay. And he just kind of like turns back to Nuri and he just kind of like shrugs. And he says, "Well, I suppose it makes sense. The festivities and all. It's good to focus everything in places where you can see it."
Yes. Well, in that case, I will probably go to the inn to sleep. Yes. Good luck, everyone. And she's going to just walk away in the direction of the inn.
Have fun going to the haunted house, Lion says as you start walking towards the inn.
Because that's the haunted house.
Nuri will actually
Douse is going to follow her, but try and be stealthy about it.
because Nuri's actually not gonna go to the inn. She's gonna go find the library and she's gonna try and break into it while invisible. So that's her plan, just so everyone knows. But it's something that does not have to be spent on like me, like that. Like she literally just wants to break in and read books.
Well, we'll see if you can in the capital city.
Oh shit.
It's a library. How heavily guarded could it be? But that's
This
her
is why
plan.
Douse
Guards at
doesn't
every door.
trust you.
Okay.
Point
So-
is, you don't have to spend time on me for that,
Okay,
though.
so
like,
Nuri and Douse head off to the library. Val, Echo, Dusty, and Amaris. You know that there is a pumpkin carving competition going on. There is a haunted house happening. Are there any of those things that you want to do, or would you like to just continue? You know that there are people that you can talk to with those. Anything you would like to do?
Val would like
Um,
to try to, although he's not usually this social, just because he isn't social doesn't mean he can't be social.
Mhm.
He will attempt to talk to people. One of the things he wants to do is just ask somebody and point out the tieflings and just kind of be like, I'm new in town. I don't recognize them. They seem important.
Okay. So you turn to someone and he's like, "Oh, those are the royals. That's King Andros and Queen Odyssey." And their 2 girls, Belfie and Riki.
And he's like, really? That's very impressive that they come and enjoy the festivities with the populace. That's very impressive of them. And he says that as like a compliment toward how they rule, because I would imagine he picked up on people seeming to be, for the most part, happy with them for the most part. So that's what he'll say.
Yeah, they're pretty good rulers actually. They try and keep things, as they say, shining here in Sunshield. So they've been doing a really good job at keeping down crime and trying to make sure everyone's voice is heard. So we they're a good family. They are. It's nice to see them out here and about. They don't normally wear costumes to these events, but it's good to see them out and enjoying themselves.
Yes, that is very good. Thank you so much for the information. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
So
Happy Haunt Day.
happy haunt day, and he'll also like he'll smile, but he'll make sure not to show any teeth.
Alrighty.
Don't
If
don't
you
want
did,
to.
he'd probably think they were fake teeth anyway.
I figured it was a 50-50 shot, because since they're real. So
Like, dang, good costume.
but he's not gonna oversell the outfit per se.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Val will just turn to everybody and be like, well, until Jimbo Scout can find us, I would suggest we get to know the citizenry and get to know the city a little bit without being prying.
Sure. I suppose we could participate in the festivities, and maybe we'll get some intel that way. Then you guys can deal with your QPCs or whatever.
Yes, it would seem that Dorothy will have what she wants after all. So I guess he'll just go to pumpkin carving.
Pumpkin carving. Okay.
Why not?
So Dusty, Amaris, Echo, and Val all go to the pumpkin carving. Okay. So this is a pumpkin lantern carving competition, where you make a dexterity or intelligence check, to carve the pumpkin. You can also, and pretty much we're gonna roll. Oh no, I lost the page. But yes, so if you want to do that, just roll. Um, the winner of the competition will receive a special pumpkin carving knife.
Val
Fancy
does love
stuff, you
knives.
guys. Fancy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so everybody roll who is participating in this contest.
What are the rules of this contest?
The rules
Can I
are to
cheat?
create a beautiful pumpkin lantern. It can look like anything you would like.
Can I argue for a sleight of hand check?
Yes, you can use your sleight of hand check, and add that,
Perfect.
or like do a sleight of hand instead.
Dusty's just cutting. He's just going in with his 5. He's like, I'm gonna make a snake. And then he starts cutting with a 5.
All right, with your 5 to roll, your snake ends up looking like just like a curvy S.
Val got a 22, and
22.
I would imagine This might surprise people actually. I think he would do some like intricate flower. Like
Okay.
something that's like kind of like something that's very vibrant and living.
Okay.
So
You carve a very beautiful flower. And
Are there
we'll
any modifiers on the carving, or is it just straight decks?
straight decks. But if you argue for a certain skill check and give a like feasible like way to back it up, I'll let you roll with it.
Are the pumpkins alive?
No, they're just regular pumpkins.
Dang it! I was gonna try to argue for animal handling, but it looks like they're not
If they
alive.
were alive. Amaris, are you rolling with anything particular? Like, what are you carving?
Well, I already rolled a 7.
Oh,
And I guess Amaris just didn't really have anything in mind. Like she's just going at it.
okay. So you kind of just go, you see what everyone else is like carving smiley faces. So you're just like kind of going for it. Okay. And Echo,
Yep.
what are you working on?
Echo is going to first off switch his costume to just disguise self, so it just stays. And he's going to start carving and try to go for like a skeleton face on the pumpkin, but only
Ooh.
rolled a 10. And upon seeing that it's a pretty mediocre face, he's gonna look around to see if anyone's looking, and then cast minor image to make the pumpkin look like it has a perfectly carved depiction of the royal family on the pumpkin.
Okay. Roll Arcana for that.
Get low
Got
enough.
20.
Nat 20. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I was gonna say if you get low enough, we might get kicked out of town. However, high enough, we might get the same result. We're about to find out.
With with the nat 20 and your modifiers added onto it, what's the number?
21.
21? Okay. Alrighty. So it looks amazing. Um, but the one that does end up winning is Val's with the 22.
of all the
Um,
people too.
with this beautiful flower. Just beat him by 1 point. Um, but a lot of the villagers are kind of like crowding around you two, and they're like, "Wow, these are amazing pumpkins! Like, this is so awesome! Where'd you come up with the idea?" And you guys can chat with them if you would like and get to know them a little bit better. Um,
I just imagine in my head it like pans over to Dusty and Amaris. They both have like their like hastily put together pumpkins. What is yours? Oh, it's a steak. Oh, what's yours? I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know.
I don't know.
like a huh.
It's a
Well,
work in progress.
Val, you do receive as a reward a pumpkin carving knife. This grants you advantage on checks to carve pumpkins, and it functions as a dagger with advantage on attack rolls against pumpkin-based enemies.
Okay.
It's a
So
fun.
I'm sure.
It's
I'm
just
sure
a
that will.
it's just a dagger that has advantage against pumpkin-based enemies then.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Got it. Okay.
And at the end of this competition, all of the pumpkins, whether they won or not, get brought over to the graveyard that is actually just a little ways away, just a little tiny, not tiny, but a large area where they house their dead. And they put the pumpkins out there.
Out of embarrassment of his actual carving, when Echo is bringing his pumpkin over, he's gonna accidentally drop it, and it's gonna fall and break.
And everyone's like, "Oh no, your poor pumpkin! It was so beautiful."
I know I worked so hard on it. I mean, I guess I can always make another next year.
We've got more pumpkins if you wanted to carve some more too.
Oh, my wrist, it kind of hurts from that one. That was a lot of carving. I'll have to hold out for now.
Ah,
Echo.
understandable.
But Echo, and Val will just kind of put an arm around his shoulder and look at him. I thought you were ambidextrous. I thought you could use both hands just as well as the other. I'm sure you could carve another pumpkin.
I mean, I can cast Cure Wounds if anything's broken.
See?
Nothing's broken. Just a little bit of strain. I'll be okay.
I'll even
I'll
let you
let.
borrow my new pumpkin knife to carve it. See how good this knife is. And he's gonna
Besides,
try to get the crowd to
anything
like
I
get him to
carve will
do it.
pale in comparison to Val's wonders. So I'll hold off for now.
I'll even help you with it there, buddy. And he
The
just
crowd,
pats him.
the crowd like forms a mob, like comes around him.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Well, as you guys are like placing the pumpkins and you're in the graveyard at this point, placing the pumpkins out, um, you actually hear one of like the little kids that was in the contest. Um, he's like, "Is this gonna scare away the ghost of grandma?" to like his mom. And she goes, "Oh, no, no, no. It only scares evil spirits." Um,
Does the kid seem serious?
yeah, he seems like, hmm. And like very like dutifully thinking about this seriously. Um and he's just a human boy about like maybe 9 years old, and he's like just thinking seriously. And the mom's like, "Oh, no, 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 we put the pumpkins out to ward away evil spirits, and well, the pumpkins will call the good spirits back, so it's gonna be okay. Grandma knows the way home." And he's like, "Okay," as they start
Does he
to walk off.
does he seem unsure if grandma's a good or a bad spirit?
He more seems like confused about the concept. And
Oh, okay. I was about to be really concerned.
Daddy always tells me that Grandma was not a good person.
Daddy told me that Grandma would get scared away by the pumpkin. We put the pumpkins out so that Grandma doesn't come back.
we keep her we keep her on the other side here.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Alrighty. Well, you guys head back to the facility, to everything, and you actually notice that family, the mom and her son, are heading into the haunted house. Um, and as you guys are kind of coming back into the main center square, where is my mouse? It just finished. Oh, it's up here. Um, okay. Alrighty. Douse, will you roll a stealth check for me?
Okay. Oof. Where's stealth first? That is a 5.
Nuri, you're being followed, Douse.
He's just a little bit too drunk and running into people as he's trying to follow her.
What'd you roll?
A 5.
A 5. So, Nuri, you can obviously tell that he is following you. Um,
High or low, Douse?
Let's go high.
Ugh.
If you don't like the result, do the other.
She figuring out the right way to do this. Okay. She's just gonna duck around a corner out of sight for a moment. Wait for that little panic and like him coming forwards, and then she'll come up behind him and like be like, excuse me.
Oh, hi. I was going to check out the haunted house. Did you want to come join me?
Went in the wrong direction, I think.
You said you were going back to the inn. I assumed the inn's where the haunted house was.
I lied.
You lied. So where are you going?
To the library. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to break some laws, and you're a little too drunk to be of help. Not to hurt anyone, I just want to read some books.
Announce it a little louder.
Can this not wait till the morning?
No.
Why not?
Douse. I'm on a time crunch right now.
I've noticed.
Please, just go away.
Not going to happen.
You're so frustrating right now.
I mean,
Stop stumbling around so much, okay? Because I'm still going to do what I'm going to do.
You have permission to fully retaliate in any way you would normally do it. Out of character. In character. Look, you just said you're about to break the laws.
Nuri looks around to see if anyone's listening.
There are like some guards walking around because it is more heavily patrolled on this night. Just because like everyone's dressed up in masks and costumes and stuff. You do notice that there's like a couple people milling about where you are, but most of them are in the center of town. But there are guards that are patrolling. So,
but none seem to be actively listening to what we're saying.
You notice that like one is coming like up closer, not directly like coming for you guys, but he does seem like he's starting to like listen in.
Ugh. Nuri will look to him and then like,
listen, I understand you're in a time crunch. And I understand people you care about are in dire need. The way you are going is not going to help them. Yes, maybe it may be a temporary fix, but in the long run, they will be losing something that is very important to them, which would be you. By temporary fix, I mean it will be fix their current condition, but it will make a more sorrowful one for them. And so,
Douse, I really understand, but I haven't had that much to drink tonight. I think you've had more than I have. I can get home by myself. She's saying this a little louder as the guards are approaching.
There's one
following me.
There's one guard that kind of stops and he seems to kind of like lean against a wall. Definitely listening, but not like trying to show that he's listening.
Yes, and the way back home for you is the inn, which is the other direction, as you've stated.
Nope. I know where I'm going. I don't need you following me. It's a little weird.
To the closed
I'm married.
Library?
Closed library?
Douse is matching her volume as well. Yes, I've had a little to drink, but not that much.
I'm not.
Not enough that the DM made me roll a Constitution save, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, just leave me alone, Douse. You've had a lot to
Not
drink. Just go away. Stop following me. It's getting weird.
sure. I will as soon as this wonderful guard over here takes you off my hands. I just kind of look at him.
The guard kind of perks up like, oh, they've noticed me listening. And he kind of like
Hi.
scratches at his cheek a little bit and he's like, hi, he thinks, he goes, what seems to be the issue? And he,
The issue is I'm a married woman, and this drunk male keeps following me around.
She's insisting to go to a library that is closed tonight. I keep trying to tell her that. And that she should just go back to the inn. But she doesn't want to listen to me. If you want to take her there, that's fine.
Says the
well,
drunk man. No, thank you. You're drunk.
I won't
Go home.
I wouldn't be following you there.
ma'am, where is your lodging?
Outside the city walls. I'm camping tonight. I don't like crowds, and the inn is filled.
Well, I'd be happy to bring you back to your lodging.
Great. It's that way. The other side of town. Away from the drunk people. That
Well,
direction.
let me grab my other guards and we can escort you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sir, I guess if she doesn't want you following her, don't follow her, but, are you're concerned about her going into the library?
Yes. We asked someone and they told us that the library was closed. But she's insisting to go visit there. If you could take her there, that'd be fine.
Oh, well, the
Like
library
someone's
is closed to visitors right now. It will open in the morning, about noon in the,
Yes, understood.
'cause holiday hours.
Of course.
I
So
would
it would have to
lean
be
forward
pretty much a nut job to get in
trying
there at night.
to
roll
be
deception, Sierra, and Douse roll persuasion. See who can persuade the guard which way or other.
Ooh. Ooh.
21.
Frick, that's a
21.
17. I thought I had her.
17. 17's really good though.
I know, I thought I had her. Douse would, though, he would have, before this, I was trying to say, he would have leaned forward and have tried to say, like, look, I am a little concerned for her. She has a few friends who have, they're in a coma and she's been desperate to learn about them, trying to fix things with the, the comas going around.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what she might do, which is one of the reasons I'm concerned.
I was as desperate as this drunk person is saying. I'd be
This would have
chasing
been
after the
quiet
rumors that we
for
heard in the
Nuri not
inn.
to hear. This would have
Right
been
there with the
a whisper.
guard?
It would have been to the side to the whisper.
Okay. Never mind.
You
she didn't
probably
say
could
that,
have
but
heard
she's
it.
glaring at you.
You probably could have heard it.
Re-roll your persuasion check with advantage.
So you want me to roll this one with advantage or count the second one as the advantage?
Roll again and roll with advantage.
Wait, that's not even a D12. That's a D12, not a D10.
Yeah, you need a d20.
Okay, that one is a 16.
16? He's like, I mean, both of these sides are sounding really good. You know, you know what? I don't know what's going on too well. Sir, you better back off the lady. But I will make sure that the guards at the library that they will be on their peak performance. We'll make sure there's a couple more stationed there. Because, and he pointedly looks towards you, Nuri, because no one is allowed in the library after hours. So we will make
Right,
sure.
go ahead, guard it some more. Better to guard the library than any bank places or royalty. So smart. It's the library.
We've
and I'm
got the
going out of
Royal
town when she said
Archives in there. It's not just a library.
Really? Now see, that's more fascinating. I thought it was just a plain old library. So if I were going to break into it, now I would. Not before. Thank you, guard. Just go. I need to get to some sleep.
I'll still get my other guard friend and we'll escort you back to your quarters outside.
Wonderful.
Where have you been keeping your
Yes,
bags?
It's on me.
Oh,
Can we
it's on
please
you.
go?
Okay. All right. He calls over one of his guard friends.
As
and they
he's
both.
calling the guard over,
Mhm.
she will have her words kind of like slip down onto the ground and kind of change color to blend into the darkness and go about 50 feet ahead of her.
Okay. You may do so. And in that case, his guard friend comes over and they start to bring you to the outskirts of town, escorting you back together, pointedly going away from the library.
Douse would have made a small comment to Nuri, like, "You cannot help your friend or your son from a jail cell. Please make better decisions." And that'll be like his last word to Nuri for the night.
Okay. And then do you head back towards the main group?
No, he's had it at this point. He was trying the night, but he's just going to go to bed.
Okay. All right, so back to the inn.
Yes.
Okay. You start heading on your way back towards the inn. And you actually.
He might tell Dusty what's going on, though.
Okay, well.
Amaris has got her stuff going on and whatnot. So he'd probably pull Dusty aside if he gets a chance.
Okay. If Douse does pull Dusty aside, he just kind of like accepts the information. He's like, okay, I see. That could get a little bit precarious.
And I've been labeled as a drunkard, so.
Which
Dusty
you do. So Douse, you do run into the group on your way back to the inn, so you can have this conversation.
Okay.
Dusty does kind of scoff at that. He's like, I see. Well, so Dusty, he's going to turn to Houdini, who's on Val's shoulder, approximately this entire time he's been there. And Dusty, he's going to say, "Hey, Houdini, are you able to? Do you know where Nuri is right now? Are you able to just like know?" He also does speak animal, if that's also important.
That is a good question, Kobe. Can do familiars always know where their master is?
I don't think the masters always know where members are. Right?
Fact checking.
Fact checking.
Connection.
Kobe's like the best dungeon master I know. He's also my fiance.
Oh shoot. Oh shoot.
Oh shoot.
Subtle flex.
Kobe's looking it up, so we will get back to that
Subtle
in a
flex.
minute. Noted, Sierra, with your message. On that note,
yeah.
As you guys are.
As I say, after that, Dustin's just like, all right. After that, I'll just be going to bed. If you need me, I'll be at the inn.
Okay, well, as you guys are doing that, you guys are in front of the inn, and Jimbo. Let me move these people. Jimbo comes up to the group here. Just moving people up more. Sierra's not there. Okay. Jimbo kind of comes up to you guys and he's like, it's getting late into the evening, so it is dark out now. Or at least like on the edges of getting dark. And he's like, hey, uh, Val, Echo, and compatriots, it's good to see you guys. I was looking into it, my scout got back to me. It looks like the less savory folks are a bit further down in town. They have a bit of a, you know how these kind of folks like their own secret entrances to secret places and whatnot. But I also did some doubling back on well, he shares the information of where this specific location to the underground hideout basically is. And he says that he's giving you this information, but tomorrow around midday to the afternoon, he's also going to tell the authorities about this because he talks about a pact that he has made with the council and the king about like trying to help clean up the streets. So he tells you he's telling you now, but he's going to be telling the authorities tomorrow. Just so you have time. He also does mention I did some digging around also as to where the rumors of the alchemist of what you were looking for um is kind of around. It seems to be Artura Farbranch. Seems to be that she knows she's the source of where the rumors are coming from. So she may know some things about that.
You happen to know where we can find her?
One second.
A familiar can communicate telepathically while they're within 100 feet. They
Mhm.
don't have a specific sense of like location.
Okay.
If they were within 100 feet, then
They would. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Okay, so for the familiar thing, they cannot, because they are not within 100 feet of Nuri right now, they aren't, Houdini is unable to determine where she is. So he kind of, oh, and shakes his head. But on that note, Val, you asked, do you know where we could find her? Right? Um, Jimbo says he's like, oh, yes, she owns the leaky spell book. Ah, she's the owner of the tavern and inn, and she's actually running the haunted house through there. Heck, she's in the haunted house.
Mm. Thanks, Jimbo. We'll look into it. I appreciate the time given.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm gonna go and dunk a bugbear.
Best of luck.
Thanks. And he waddles off.
Val will turn to everybody else and simply ask, what lead would you like to follow? Might be a little hard to talk to her right now with her actually running the haunted house.
Perhaps it might be good to go through the haunted house, give her a good perspective of us. It seems like they really enjoy their festivities. This holiday seems to mean a lot to the town.
Well, sure. I don't think we should disrupt it. That's for sure.
No. I think, and he again turns to Houdini. He says, "Houdini, would you be able to help me look for Nuri? I feel like it might be best to have someone head after her.
Oh, oh. And he kind of nods his head and like ruffles his feathers a little bit. And he flies off of Val's shoulder and perches on yours.
Right, perfect. Well, I will head off. Douse, do you have any cardinal direction? Do you know which way she went with
I believe
those guards?
I was standing over there. The guards took her off that way. I'm just gonna point to the way he saw the guards go. As for
Right.
cardinal directions, I have no idea which one that was.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I'll be heading off.
Okay.
Good luck to the four of you. And Dusty will kind of like turn with his coat like kicks up a little bit. Now that he's got this beautiful cape on. And he just begins heading in that direction.
Okay. You start heading off in that direction. For the rest of you, which lead would you like to follow? Would you like to increase relationship with Artura by going through and seeing her, or would you like to go straight to the underground?
I do like what Dusty mentioned. We should probably get to know her first before we ask questions. It seems the city has had so many adventurers come through that they've become disinterested in anything adventuring. So perhaps going through the haunted house, and depending on how long it'll go for, maybe we'll have time to head to the seedy part of town. And I am confident that we can get into where we need to get in.
Okay. Everyone else sound like good?
Yep.
Okay. Douse, you do recognize that as they're making these plans, the haunted house is in the inn. Would you like to join for the haunted house?
Sure, I'll go through at least once.
Okay. Alrighty, let me put Dusty on the chase. And then we'll copy you guys. And we'll go to the tavern. Okay. Alrighty. So Amaris, Val, Echo, and Douse. As you guys come in, you notice that the orc lady who was dressed up in all the like very obvious like barbarian chieftain like gears, she welcomes you with a smile and she goes, "Ho! Are you ready to brave the haunted horrors above?"
Bring it on! And Douse's best way he can to play off that he's not troubled by what happened with Nuri. He's going to try and go through the whole haunted house doing a handstand
Okay.
to live into his jester cosplay.
The jester cosplay that you're doing right now.
Yes.
Alrighty. Okay. And the rest of you follow suit?
Does Val get he won't ask directly because he doesn't want to ruin the immersion experience, per se, because does this appear now that she's like directing people, does this actually seem potentially the woman we're looking for? Like just the kind of, I'm kind of looking again kind of for underneath vibes, so again might be a little hard with the costuming, but
you could ask her name. You know that the name of the owner is Artura. Atura. But from what you would know, she's the owner of the Leaky Spellbook. And you don't know who that is or what she looks like.
so I'm only saying this stuff because I have the investigator background for Val. Could I do like some kind of intelligence or history check to see if I can recognize the origin of that name, to see if it is like an Orcus?
Definitely.
Because if it is, then maybe this is the person.
Yeah,
He's just trying to see if
roll.
he can figure it out on his own first before having the direct approach. Because again, doesn't want to ruin
The
the thing,
immersion.
because if I do, then again that adventuring, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Roll your history intelligence.
I believe that is on. Come on. Nope. Come on.
Real quick, Emily, did you get my message?
Ah, that is not they are not what you were thinking they are.
Okay.
I got a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
You from that 10 you would recognize that it seems more elvish in nature
Okay.
of a name.
Okay.
So you can probably assume that this orcish woman is not Atura.
Okay. Could just be helping out. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll go into the haunted house.
Okay. She goes, "Oh, wait one moment while the last brave souls come out." And literally 5 minutes later, the mom and the son come out, and he's like, "Whoa, that was scary!" And she's like, "It's pretty fun." And they head out with a couple other people that were trickling out. And the orc lady goes, "You may enter," and you can head up the stairs.
Okay. That's what Val will do.
Do we all go together or is it one by one?
It's a group thing. So I'm gonna move you guys one by one into this area on the because you're heading up the stairs. Okay. Can you guys see?
Yep.
Okay. So as you enter, let me read this. So when you reach the top of the stairs, so this is going to be like flavor text that I'm just reading. A couple of children dressed as spiders pull on strings, causing a curtain of tiny fake spiders to lower from the ceiling, swarming the party as children giggle. The kids then raise the spiders again to let the party pass. So they're dressed up as spiders on their own. So all the ones that are of Spider-Man right now, these are kids dressed up as spiders. I have a horrible fear of spiders, so I was not gonna put spider people, so it's Spider-Mans, because they are dressed up as spiders. And the one that looks like Dusty's spider friends, that's the swarm of spiders. Um, that they're like, ooh, creepy crawlies, as you guys can move your characters through the area.
When the spiders come down, Amaris is going to be scared, like she's just playing along. She's just be like, oh no, not spiders, no.
And the kids are gonna be laughing hysterically as they're like, ah, got you, woo boo, all this stuff. As
Oh
you
yeah,
guys,
you got me good. You got me good.
oh whoops, sorry guys.
Douse will be just running around in circles, playing along with it as well. Oh no! Of course,
And-
on his hands though, to make it even more fun for the kids.
Oh my goodness, and the kids are eating this up. They are loving every second of this. Okay. And as you guys start heading in through the hallway, because they kind of direct you, like, go this way for your doom. As you come this way, these doors open. Come on, open. And people dressed as zombies come out, and they start going. 4 people dressed as zombies, and they start going, ooh, kind of coming in their own shambling way, and they're like, "We're gonna eat you!" And they kind of like pretend to claw at you guys, and in their own little way. Um, they're not actually touching you guys. They're making sure to like no contact rule. Um, But they do that, and after a moment, they wander back into their rooms that they were in.
Echo is gonna do his best zombie impression and try to like shamble after them.
You may do so, and they continue to shamble, and they're like, oh, and they try to keep you out of the rooms, and they're like, oh, and they point towards the door at the end as they're like, oh, go that
I'm gonna
way.
give him a confused look and then like absentmindedly just like turn, start moving towards the door they pointed to.
Alrighty, you start doing so. And you may open up the final door, should you dare. When you open this door, you find an elven woman wearing like a witch's hat with long, flowing, crazy blue hair, as she is stirring like this giant cauldron as she's let's see. And she has this like echo to her voice, which echo you can recognize as like she's using prestidigitation to like make this echo to her voice as she's going toil and trouble and on the double. You also notice that she has a familiar next to her. Her raven familiar is also wearing like a tail, like a forked tail, and holding like a pitchfork in its beak, making it dressed up as like a little imp. She's like, ooh. um and she goes, I curse you with fear, and she starts cackling and trying to have this like Okay, sorry, I'm laughing now because Nero Nimbus just said the thriller rehearsal is next door. You hear the zombies just like practicing thriller. Um, but she cackles and casts the curse on you, and she goes, "Ooh,
Um,
travelers!"
when she does that, Amaris is just gonna like kind of fake follow or just be like, oh no, and then just like reach over to Douse and just be like, Douse, help me, I've been cursed.
What does Douse do?
Douse, you're on mute, by the way.
I said that you just find his feet are sticking in the air because he's still doing his handstand. He's trying to go through the whole thing like that, to
Oh
be
my
precise.
gosh! Roll acrobatics for me.
Okay.
I'm prepared with my natural 20 marker, just in case anything.
That is an 18.
An 18. Okay, you are still holding strong on this.
Oh yeah, I got a +5 to acrobatics.
Okay,
I need to be
awesome.
using this.
Awesome. Okay. Well,
He's like, oh no! Just kind of like turn around, but there's nowhere to go because I think Vale and them are right behind him. He's like, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh no!
oh gosh. You may do so. And as she finishes her cackles and everything, and she goes, "Are you travelers enjoying the fair?"
It's quite wonderful. Thank you.
Good, good, good. Now, when you are ready to escape this tower of doom, you may leave
Just
whenever you wish.
the
Yeah,
way we came.
yes, you must brave everything again, because there is only one entrance and exit of doom.
Oh no!
Amaris is going to be like, if that's what it takes, and she's like, weakly crawling back towards the stairs.
Alrighty. You start crawling back towards the stairs, and all the kids that are dressed up as spiders are going as you go. Val, Echo, Douse. Anything you would like to do before you leave?
Val will just look at her and just kind of be like, look around, like, well put together.
She smiles and she seems to drop the voice and the act for a moment, and her voice she seems to be doing a fake voice for this. And it suddenly comes light and airy. She goes, "Oh, thank you. It didn't take too long to put together, but the kids planned this."
I think that's what allows it to have its charm.
Yes, it is. It is very nice. This holiday pretty much is mostly for the children.
Hmm. Well, I think we just rolled into town. We will probably need some rooms later this evening.
Ah, yes. The haunted house will close in about an hour, so we'll have rooms ready in about an hour and a half. Gotta
Alright.
clean up everything.
Okay. Well, we will be sure to come and find you again to properly book those rooms. Thank you.
Of course, we'd love to have you stay here.
Thank you. And he just kind of nods respectfully, and
Hmm.
we'll head back. And I would say the festivities are kind of getting to Val a little bit, so he kind of semi plays along to make the kids happy.
The kids are loving it. And as you guys are like kind of heading out more, Atura calls out one more time and she goes, "Escape while you have the chance!" And you guys are able to leave the haunted house. And I'm gonna just move you guys into here. We took a little spider kid. Here we go. Alrighty, and you guys are able to exit.
As soon as he gets out, Douse will do like a somersault back into a standing upright. Like, that's a killer on the arms.
Definitely.
I don't
You
know
didn't
why you
have
were
to do
doing
it the
it
whole
that
time.
long.
It's a jester. I thought it would be fun. And
Was
then I
it?
was committed.
You're committed to the
Was
bit.
it fun?
It was worth it.
Alrighty. Well, you guys head back out. And I almost deleted the town square page.
Cool.
That would have been bad.
You head out and the world no longer exists.
Nothing exists anymore.
You have
Welcome to
Um,
entered.
Limbo, everybody.
Just a void.
The real haunted house has begun.
Oh no. Alrighty, and it looks like Jimbo is no longer out here. Um, okay, and it seems like a lot of the villagers are having fun. Some even like pass you. Everyone is like passing you by with like smiles. Actually, like a couple people actually come past you and compliment you guys on your costumes and everything. Um, as you guys are continuing this night. So you guys are wanting to head towards the underground now, correct?
We will have to be quick if we go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, let's see. Dusty, high or low?
Let's go low.
Okay. Alrighty. So, as you guys come out and into the streets and you're interacting with a couple of people who are complimenting your costumes, um, I'm gonna read some flavor text here for a second.
Ooh.
And Dusty, you are on your way after Nuri. Nuri, you are getting to a point where you're about to start a couple shenanigans. And at this point, the revelries suddenly stop as a pillar of green light bursts through the roof of a nearby cottage. Villagers point and gasp, children scream. The light reaches hundreds of feet into the night sky, where it collects in a swirling mass. Moments later, 3 bolts of green lightning strike the town. One bolt strikes the roof of the inn, and another strikes the tallest gravestone in the graveyard. The third strikes the dunk tank, mere feet from where you now stand. So a couple feet still away. Villagers scatter in fright and confusion. Some of them begin to change shape as they run off into the dark, transforming to better resemble their costumes. The man in the dunk tank now carries a very real morning star and looks quite a bit more like an actual bugbear. As he advances, because all these people are like running away now. So we're gonna have them be running off or something. Let me move some of these people.
Does this mean Val's gonna turn into a vampire?
Oh no.
No,
Also, these people are gone.
impossible.
I don't think anyone dressed up as any actual monsters in our group that like they weren't already. We're safe, guys. We're
Get the
safe.
fuck
Again,
out
that's
of here.
hurtful. I'm not a monster.
Are you saying
Sorry,
that
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean
Douse is actually a fool?
That's not what I meant.
Well-
I love Douse. What are you talking about?
Well,
Well,
ugh.
he's drunk and he's been acting the part, so
We'll just say he's not too different now.
Okay, so he said, as the bugbear advances on you guys, he starts going, "You can't dunk me." You can see that 3 of the targets that were there have sprouted arms and legs, and they heft stones, the stones that you were throwing at them menacingly. Um, hold on, I need to pull out the rest of the targets.
Vengeance. They want revenge. No.
Alrighty, so they've sprouted these arms. So as this whole thing, this pillar of green light that is emanating, let me put this in. That is emanating actually from this building over here. We're just gonna put this little green shimmer of light. Okay, there we go. As you see this green pillar of light that is erupting from the top of this home over here, it's kind of cracked and caked in the roof. And you see that people are starting to transform into what they were dressed as. You notice that you yourselves are kind of half formed into these costumes as well. But you notice that you feel like you've gained some sort of ability with this. So, starting off with Douse, I'm going to read these off real quick. Starting off with Douse as the Jester. Opportunity attacks against you have disadvantage. While you are half formed with the Jester costume. For you, Parker, as you are dressed as the vampire, each time the character reduces a creature to 0 hit points, you magically heal hit points equal to half your level rounded up. So anytime an enemy is reduced to 0, you get hit points equal to half of your level.
Ooh, that's just as good as my
Mm-hmm.
other abilities. Dope.
Hey. Amaris, you were dressed up as the pirate, you get a +1 bonus to all of your damage rolls. And Sierra, Nuri was dressed up as the witch. This character can cast Witch Bolt once during the haunting day, which is this night. Use the better of intelligence, wisdom, or charisma for your spellcasting ability. So you can cast Witch Bolt once. Echo, for your character, as this like burning, like kind of monster, you gain the ability to cast Fireball once during the night. And for you, Dusty, there isn't one for your costume, but since you're like kind of dressed up as this earthy, you get the ability, your maximum hit points increase by an amount equal to your level. So you gain
Permanently
because
or
of
just
this
for the night?
for the night. All of these effects only last for the night. Or at least while this magic is going on.
This is wonderful. I say we all just go to bed and we keep these abilities.
As a bugbear is coming on you to try and kill you.
We just leave the lights on. It's fine.
Ah, I see, I see.
Okay, so this
Okay.
bugbear is advancing on us, right?
Yes. But on this note, with the pillar of green light shining up and the 3 lightning bolts that struck, part of your party is away and there's a bugbear advancing on you, along with 3 animated targets. Things are looking pretty bleak for the town of Sunshield and for the party on Midsummer's Haunt, the holiday. And with that, I know we have a little bit of time left, but with that, we are going to conclude tonight's session and leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. It is coming close to the end of the night, so I want to leave it at this point, and we'll start off with our combat next session. But with that, I know it's cruel. Thank you guys so much for coming. Any thoughts, like players? What do you guys think? How are you feeling about this?
I've been traumatized. There've been too many images that I just was not ready to see today. I mean, the targets fighting back, that's messed up. That's messed up stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
Val doesn't really feel any different.
You're just
I
more
did like
vampire.
that. Just like, I think I'm gonna be a vampire now.
Yeah, I don't
I'm a
know. I don't know
true
if Emily
vampire
was
now. It's
expecting
just
me to do
scammed you.
that.
Your teeth
No,
are
but
just
I
a
thought it was
little bit
funny.
sharper.
Dang. Does that mean he counts as a fiend instead of humanoid now? Is that like, or like a
I don't think
monstrosity?
vampires
An
are-
undead.
Undead?
Vampires
Yeah,
are
they're
Well,
still
I mean, you
undead.
are more though.
Hybrid?
Hybrid. Half breed, half born,
Maybe.
mudblood. Is that what we're doing?
Well,
Is that what we're doing?
we hope, Not One Nerds, that you'll be able to join us for next week's session to conclude this, to this one shot. If you can't, we understand. But we have loved having you here tonight for this session. And also everyone in the chat, we love you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the stream and for all of your hilarious comments. I've been watching the chat this whole time and I've just been dying because it's so funny. You guys are very funny.
You can confirm.
So all of you guys, thank you so much. We wouldn't have the stream without you guys. And thank you again to Nat One Nerds for coming tonight and for bringing back Val and Echo. Any last words, any final thoughts from Nat One Nerds or from the players, the party?
I mean, we had fun and we're excited to come back and finish this. At least as far as I know, I'm good for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Greg has been writing like nerds for the Nat 1 area. He's been writing that instead of like a count.
We needed more ones.
We
Oh,
need to play
no.
more of those games so that way people could roll those ones.
Exactly, right?
We'll just separate them now. There you go, nerds. There you go.
Yes. And thank you, Nero Nimbus, Gunman, Greg, Lady Noir, Roxy Bird, all of you guys, and more that there's so many to name for all of your comments in the chat. Thank you to Greg for the wonderful Nat 20 and Nat 1 board.
Stats for the day.
And we will see you guys next week for the conclusion of this Friday the 13th session. So we'll have our spooky times here in October. So, alrighty. Well, we love you guys. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, whoops. And we can't